The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan. Shout out to Felicia Nomiko for sending us a game. She sent me a copy of Helldivers on the PlayStation 4. Super excited to get into that. And like I said, you guys send us a game, I'll fucking play it.
Yeah, we will all fucking play it.
The only weird thing is I think this one's like a multiplayer thing, so you guys might have to buy your own copy, but
we'll check it out.
I got mine, so sweet. Thank you, though. Thank you a ton for sending that off to us. Also, Metroid Prime.
Shall we play a game?
Player to another. Dark soul light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the Nude Clan.
Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan.
Yeah.
This is your host, Cameron.
Caleb Schweiss.
And Caleb Craig. You may notice that Joe is gone.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
He's busy sleeping.
Yeah, after all of the shit he gives Cam, he has to miss.
No. The best part of this whole little thing. Holidays, yeah, everyone has their own schedule. And then Caleb and the Joe are doing night shifts now. But Joe is like, well, I can record Thursday because I can't do Saturday. And then Caleb couldn't do a day. I'm like, well, I can't do it Thursday because of family problems. And I can do it all day Friday and then Saturday morning, just like we normally do.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, we can just record without Cameron on Thursday.
Yeah. It's
so
like,
this is the fuck who does give me a shitload of... I don't know. He's just an ass about whenever I have to miss. He just gives me a shitload of ass. On a regular
gives you a
basis.
shitload of ass.
Wow, I don't know why you're complaining.
That seems generous, Cam.
Yeah.
No, so he oh man, and then he's like, oh, we'll just record without him. The fuck face. He can't make an episode, so he decides to make it all about him, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But too bad, fuck Joe, because this is mine and Caleb's episode. Because today,
Got it out?
yeah.
Okay.
All right, because today is the review of Metroid Prime, the one that should have come to you guys last week.
Yeah, I severely underestimated the length of this game. There's a lot of exploration in it. It's pretty long if you aren't really looking at a guide. There's a lot of shit to find. And there's like, it's deep, dude. This thing is, it's got layers. It's got layers. So.
Oh, man.
So yeah, well, before we get into that, you guys can check us out at nudeclan.net. That's where you'll find all of our episodes, all of our polls for choosing the next game for us. You can send us an email at nudeclanpodcast@gmail.com. Follow the channel at twitch.tv/nudeclangaming. We've been doing a decent amount of streaming lately, so that's a pretty active a deal at the moment. You can go to facebook.com/nudeclanpodcast. That's Nude, spelled N-E-W-D. You can tweet me at UFF Podcast.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
And me at Obsidian Bob.
And
Joe.
Joe.
If you want to tweet Joe, don't.
Yeah. Yeah, so, fuck. Before we get into Metroid Prime, what's everybody been playing this last week?
You go, Caleb.
All right. Well, let's see.
You just wanted to breathe audibly.
Yeah. I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders, a little bit of that. And I went back to Final Fantasy 15 to do some more hunts and side quest stuff, trying to get my guys to 99.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I just started a new game because Cam requested it, and it was Rainbow Six Siege. And it's pretty fucking awesome.
Good, because he was begging to play it this morning on his knees. Give it to me.
No, it wasn't on my
I don't
knees.
think he was talking about the game.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be about the game. But it is a pretty unique FPS, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good one out of Ubisoft. So if we all play it, there isn't a story mode per se. There are some situations that you can play to get used to the game, so I don't know if we will give it a review later or not, but that's a possibility down the road.
Well,
We could always review the multiplayer.
we could
and
just
all its
omit
aspects.
the story section and make it out of 80. That's what we did for. I don't know. Actually, I think we've done that before, but I don't remember if we actually have.
I think we were planning on doing that for Battlefront,
yeah.
but we still haven't done it.
No,
because
we
still
haven't.
feel that even the multiplayer is lacking.
Yeah, it's not done yet, so half-cooked fucking
Gotta wait
egg.
till all the DLCs are out.
Yeah, I haven't even been keeping up on the releases of those things. Like the Death Star one, I think just barely came out a little while ago.
No, I think the newest one is the Rogue One Scarif.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they add different ones in occasionally. Like when Episode 7 came out, they tossed in a...
Well, no, that one is $15, so it's definitely part of the season pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of the announced ones, though, I don't believe.
No, they must have just added it then, because, yeah, I saw that on there, and it was like $15, and I was like, oh, okay then.
So, since I have the season pass, I should just have it for free then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out. I mean, I like the game. It's just there's better shooters that are out.
So after playing Battlefield 1 and then going back to Battlefront, it's just the weapons are not as satisfying. It's not as satisfying to shoot beams of light than an actual projectile.
Yeah, and it's the gameplay is just not as solid as Battlefield.
No.
You missed the bullet drop.
I miss the bullet drop.
And the lead time, and I mean, you got to lead them a little bit. And actually, you do lead them in Star Wars.
So it makes sense. Okay, they got this right. You know, it makes sense. It's a beam of light. It's not going to. It's traveling at the speed of light. It should reach your target almost
Well, it's
instantaneously.
like plasma. It's not.
But is it plasma?
necessarily-
Because
yeah.
it's a laser
Yeah.
rifle.
I
Because
think it is plasma.
That's why there's a
lasers-
lead.
That's because lasers, they shouldn't have any type of recoil at all. There shouldn't be a recoil from a laser.
Yeah, there shouldn't be, but I'm pretty sure it's plasma.
If it's plasma, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But you know the amount of energy? Okay, never mind. Let's not get into that. We're not that podcast.
there is actually a gun in that game that's a plasma rifle, so I'm pretty sure it's plasma.
But why would they make the distinction for that rifle, not the others?
I don't know.
Because the
Yeah.
other ones are laser rifles.
Well, even then, though, the lasers don't travel at the speed of light. You can dodge them. You can
Yeah.
dodge the bullets. The only thing you can't dodge is the fucking cycler rifle. That thing is there. So
Isn't the cycler rifle a projectile? It's a
yes,
kinetic rifle.
Yeah, it's just a
Sand
regular
people
sniper.
use.
Yeah, sand people's.
Yeah.
I love that fucking thing. It's got drop though. It's got bullet drop, so it's a pain in the ass sometimes. But anyway, what have you been playing, Cameron?
I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege. I've been playing... What else did I play this week before I get to the one game? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What was I playing those days? I'm having...
Did you play 15 at all this week, or did you play it last
I
week?
touched 15. I moved around a little bit.
You touched it?
I grabbed a fish or two. That's pretty much all I did.
Yeah. Not feeling it as much.
I don't feel the drive for it right now. Oh, yeah. Fuck. Shadow Mordor. That's what I've been playing this
Oh
week.
yeah. You've been putting a lot of time into that.
Yep.
mean-
it's a lot of fun. I know people have their own game they like to say it's like, but for me, it feels a lot like Assassin's Creed, but in Mordor.
Yeah. The exact mix of that game is Assassin's Creed with a little bit of Batman Arkham Asylum tossed
I've heard
in.
Arkham Asylum, but I've never played it. And then
The combat is pretty much entirely Batman Arkham Asylum.
I only played it long enough to get the Steam cards so I could sell them. Or no, I think I crafted that badge.
Ooh, we're getting a call. Should we bring him on the
What the-
show? Should we bring him on the show?
No, dude, that's evil.
Hey, you're live.
Yeah. Welcome to Nude Clan.
You are live. Anything you want to say to all the viewers?
Dude, that happened last time. I wonder if it's that fucking Joe. That didn't look like his number, though.
No.
No, I don't think it was.
Man, we changed the ringer thing to last way longer. Before it was like half a second.
I don't know. I mean, we could have brought him on the show, and if it was too cruel, we could always cut that out.
What if they were trying to ask a question for UFF and then just brought on Nude Clan? Just like,
What the fuck is this? Is that Schweiss? No. Yeah, that'd be fun. So sorry, whoever that was. We'll get to it eventually. Maybe during a break. So anyway, go on.
Okay. And then
Fucking
this,
Skype.
you can put yourself to...
Once we start streaming these episodes, I think we will accept user call-ins. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a
that would be
segment,
cool.
a segment. User call-in segment.
This will just be like the loosest podcast in the world. It's like fucking come on. What the fuck?
All right, just answer it. See what the fucker's about.
Hello?
Hello?
How's it going?
Hey, Schweitz, I was going to leave y'all a message.
Oh, what show for? What show?
UFF.
Oh,
no.
Dude, we're literally we're recording Nude Clan right now.
You're on Nude Clan right now.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, Nude Clan.
Yeah, the second show I was thinking about when I called.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to hear Joe's new opinions as he lords them over everybody, just like my review said, you know?
Well, you know, the nice thing is Joe's not here this week, so you won't have to worry about that.
Oh, well, this is going to be an awkward episode.
Yep, and I'm not going to cut it out either.
Oh, beautiful.
Your voice is going to be projected to everyone.
Yeah.
All the two
Right,
people who
right.
listen to Nude Clan.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about then today?
So far, we're going to be doing Metroid Prime. That's what the episode review is going to be on. And right now, we're just in the middle of talking about what we've been playing. So,
Oh, beautiful. Well, I can't wait to hear, because when I got through Metroid Prime, that scanning the logs, that about drove me nuts. So
Oh, yeah.
I did play that one, but beating that one 100% was just, you can have your completionist medal on that one. I don't need it.
But see, there's
Yeah.
no medal. There's no trophy. There's no reason to get that completionist.
isn't there like a special ending?
Yes,
Yeah,
there is
there's
a special ending.
but
Yeah.
yeah, apparently it's pretty lame from what I've heard. I guess not lame, but
It just
not-
sets the groundwork for Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
So it's technically the canon ending, and we didn't beat it until we got that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt your show. Hope y'all have a good one. But thank you for a great year of podcasting. I'm sure all of us appreciate. I know I do. The shows have been just laugh fest. They get me through work all the time. So
Nice.
I hope y'all keep enjoying the show and keep putting out new episodes. And I can't wait to hear what y'all think about Parasite Eve next.
All right, awesome, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
I'll talk to y'all later.
We'll see you, man. That was awesome.
All right, now put that on Do Not Disturb so people can call and leave messages.
Yeah, dude, I've never had a problem. Okay, that's not true.
Little green thing right up there. Yeah, click on that. There you go.
This episode, Caleb learns Skype.
Yeah. So I guess that's too bad he didn't have a question for Nude Clan. That's cool though. We did get a second opinion on Metroid Prime there, like
Yeah.
a 10-second second opinion.
That was good.
Yeah, right before we actually have yours.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Cameron, again.
All right, as I was saying, the last game I played starting last night, I decided to stream for a little bit, then stopped because Caleb was streaming at the same time and reading every single fucking cutscene.
Yeah, of course.
But Bloodborne, I have jumped into the world, which is hate.
Yeah. Why is the world hate?
Okay, so the game's design, I understand how Dark Souls kind of works, where it's around dying. You know, it's a part of the game. It's a mechanic of the game.
Yeah, you're
die.
supposed to get your ass kicked.
And the first part of it, yeah, you have to die in order to progress. But, oh man, this game is so fucking sadistic. There's this one part I'm on, which is right after the first part. I haven't gotten much farther than that. I have that first part down to a science. I know where to be and when to be there. And I can just rape everyone until I get to this one fucking part on the bridge with two werewolves that are like motherfuckers compared to the first werewolf. And that's where the wall I've hit. And Caleb lets me know the boss is right around the corner. And so I know the boss is going to fucking rape me because everything else in this game does. And I have to go through everything to get back there.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you just need to figure out how to kill those wolves. You'll
Get
be fine.
good.
Hey, Caleb says my weapon's broken. Yeah, fuck you. Get good.
If Craig is saying
I think that
there's a
was the
fucking-
exact thing that you said to Joe about Revenant Wings, I think.
It was actually, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, so there I have to. It doesn't hold your hand at all. Doesn't tell you how to do things. There's no fun little tutorial how
Yeah.
to. I mean, you can look at notes on the ground that tells you like how to hold down your weapon to charge and stuff. But other stuff like assigning weapons to slots and assigning things to slots, you just have to fucking figure that out. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, it's one of those games. I played Demon Souls for like an hour one time, and I wasn't really feeling it at the time, and I just stopped playing it and never picked it up. And I tried Bloodborne for probably about 30 minutes, and I kept trying to fight that wolf in the very beginning of the game, and I couldn't kill him, so I just was like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah, when you try to, like, you don't have weapons yet, so
Yeah.
you try to, like, have to fucking punch him in the face.
I was tearing him up, but he just starts going crazy near the end, and I can't do anything. So
So don't worry, I'm not going to be a little girl like Caleb and quit. I'm going to keep going until the game's done.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see.
I think we should all try to play it and then review it at some point.
That would be a game to review, because this is actually a game that I've been asked about a couple times. Oh, have you guys played Bloodborne? I'm like, no, I know. Well, some of us have, but none of us beat it.
Yeah.
So this is a game we need to beat in order to wear the big boy pants for podcasting.
Well, this is the easier of the games, too, from what I've heard.
No, I think the easiest one is Demon Souls, and then I think Bloodborne is supposed to be harder than Dark Souls 2.
Really?
Dark Souls 3 is apparently the hardest one. I don't know.
So they just keep coming out with more and more
difficulty.
disgustingly difficult
That's
things.
that's all I've been told. And then there's another one that's coming out in the same kind of vein as those, called Neo. It's supposed to be pretty difficult too.
The Hell Vein, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The
that
Vein
kind
of
of thing.
Doom.
I don't know if it's in the Demon Souls series. I think it might be by somebody else. Basically, you're playing as like a samurai, and you're trying to go through stuff.
Oh, okay.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it sounds
One thing
cool.
I have to say about Bloodborne is I love the art style. I love just the way things look. I just wish my guy was a little faster. A little more speed, and things would be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I went with the saw blade thing. It's pretty nice for speed.
Maybe
It
I'll
has
have
some
to try
decent
that
power.
I haven't done anything with the weapons in that game, so I can't.
And you got to start it back up and see.
I would
see
like
some
to.
stuff.
It's a game that I'm interested in playing. I just didn't have the time to get everything down in the very beginning. And then you told me, "Oh, you're not supposed to fight that guy," and I was like, "Oh well." I wish I would have known
You should
that.
just pretty much run from everything.
Yeah.
All right, kid. What have you played?
All right, so this week I've been playing. I jumped back on Final Fantasy 15. I didn't stream any of it, but I was doing side quests late at night and fishing, and I actually maxed out my fishing level. So that's
Oh, you did the max fishing, huh?
yeah,
So 10's the max level you can have for it?
yeah, it is.
I think you told me 200 fish to
Yeah,
get the max level.
It was a couple hundred. Yeah. So
I think I've gotten 5. I've got a way to go.
yeah. Are you not able to do it? Is it above you or what?
I just haven't really
Is
done
it Joe
any
Court
fishing.
to you?
No, I found like a couple fishing spots and I've done it, but I was like,
It's not something you just want to sit and do.
yeah.
That's exactly what I did. So
Well, apparently the fish, depending on the fish you get, will give you better stuff when you eat it.
yeah, there's stat boosts for food, and certain fish are required to make certain recipes. So it has its function. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd worry too much about the extra boosts unless there's some late game ones that are really good that I don't know about yet. But as of right now, I just did it to do it. I just wanted to get it out
I
of the
was
way.
told there was a fish that takes a couple hours to catch.
Yeah, that sounds like
I don't know
bullshit.
how true that is, but if that is, that's horrifying, and I will never do it.
Yeah, you don't want to spend 2 hours in a mini game.
No,
Oh, come on.
no, that does not appeal to me. In any
All right,
way.
fine. So I also started up. Well, no, okay. I did Metroid Prime. I played that, beat it pretty late. Enjoyed it. It was a good game, but moving on. And then I jumped into Parasite Eve last night, which is the other game that's in my way to just truly go through Final Fantasy 15.
You know, funnily enough, looking over your shoulder, I think I've seen someone play that game before.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, one of the Twitch viewers was like, "Oh no, it was our buddy Greg from in real life. My buddy Greg, I guess you guys don't know him, but he was like, "Oh, I've actually never heard of this game ever." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, it's fun." So it's kind of one of those. It was a decently sized game when it came out. Like a lot of people knew about it, and it was a pretty good success, but it wasn't like god tier successful. So it's a little under the radar sometimes. So I've been playing that, and I also bought Rainbow Six Siege, and I haven't started it yet, but I did download it, and all of that's set up and ready to rock whenever I get time to go through with these guys and do some
It's a fun
squad.
game. It's a really fun game. You find a guy who does stuff that you like, that you can fit your play style, but then you need to find another guy because when you play online, that first guy is going to be taken.
Yeah, but the thing we're shooting for though is if we can get 5 of us online, and that way we just kind of.
Can you imagine
Choose.
Joe though trying to play this game? Caleb?
I don't know if
No.
Caleb can play it. I don't see why not.
Fuck you.
But
First of all,
Dude, there was that part where I went down and then you decided to unload 2 fucking rounds into me before the guy who was over me.
Caleb just
I
wanted
don't know what you're talking about.
Forgot.
Are you talking
already.
about the thing where I beat down the guy that was trying to disarm the bomb and you were like inside him, so you died too?
No, Caleb. I watched the kill cam. You turn around. You see the guy beating down the bomb. You see me laying, holding my blood-spurting chest 2 feet to the right of him. And you bring your weapon up
I didn't
to bear.
get any points for killing you, so
You get negative points.
Yeah, I didn't receive the
I watched
negative
the
points.
fucking kill cam, Caleb.
Well,
I didn't receive the negative points,
And
so
it
I
said
didn't kill
Lord
you.
Caleb killed me. No, it said Lord Caleb killed me. I'm like, what the fuck, Caleb?
Then
And I
you
watched.
deserve death.
I watched, and then you bring your gun up, you boom, boom, 2 shots to me, and then you turn around and boom, boom, 2 shots to the guy trying to disarm the bomb.
No, I knifed the guy that was trying to disarm the bomb.
Caleb.
well, it sounds like Caleb wanted to give that guy a little bit of a heads up because he knew in that moment he had the trigger of destiny, so he was gonna kill him, but he felt like it was super unfair. So he's like, "All right, I'll kill Cameron with some warning shots, and then I'll take out this guy, and then I'm the only one alive at the end of the round. It's just me."
And then he somehow beat that level by one of his
Oh my
short
god,
curlies.
yes I did.
By a short and curly, he beat that fucking level.
It was fucking awesome. So
As he
like,
was laid to waste, think of the Godfather. He just like bullets, just
all right,
as he's
so what
falling down.
happens in this game mode that we were playing? You have to disarm 2 bombs, and I disarmed the first bomb after I killed Cam. And so I go find the second area for the next bomb, and I arm the entire room with claymores. And then I fucking disarm the bomb, and you have to wait like 45 seconds as like a wave of enemies come after you.
Oh, so are you guys playing against NPCs in this?
we're getting terrorist.
And we're just sitting there. I'm just sitting there in this like corner waiting, and all of a sudden they just like start popping. All my claymores are going off, and I get swarmed by like 1,000 dudes, and I'm like killing all of them that are disarming the bomb, and I have like 2 seconds left, and right as I fucking die, it's like mission success, and I was like,
As his body's being thrown away, just empty, lifeless sack.
yeah,
of
dude,
nothing.
blood splatters from my body,
And
just going
we're
fucking
both like,
everywhere.
no! But then it says mission success. We're like, yeah! Oh, another funny part. We were playing another one of those, and I go down real hard, and then Caleb's the last one left. It's really funny, this game, because when you go prone to shoot someone, you actually lay on your back, and you're aiming down between your legs. That's how you go prone sometimes in this game. But anyways, Caleb dies, and it shows the kill cam. He's like, as he says, like, dude, I don't even know where they're shooting from. And the kill cam cuts to like every fucking dude shooting him. There's a dude standing right behind him, looking straight down.
There was a dude right behind me. There was another dude like off in the distance behind a couch, and then there's like this big tanky dude just right in front of me that I was shooting. I was like, where the fuck are these people? There's like zooms out to 3 guys just like all going at me.
It was so funny. It's just like, dude, I don't even know where they're shooting me at. And out to
Everywhere.
everyone was fucking
Yeah.
shooting.
And I'm just laying on my back with my gun between my legs, just like
It's too good.
Wow.
Oh man, I can't wait till you jump on this because it's going to be real good.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So,
Are those all the games you played?
you know what? I think so. No, I've started Far Cry 4. That's right.
oh, you did?
Cool.
I kind of felt bad about playing Final Fantasy 15 at a time that maybe shouldn't be playing video games and definitely shouldn't be streaming. So I was like, all right, well, I'll pick something else up in the meantime. And it was Far Cry 4. I played about 35, 40 minutes of it.
Nice.
It feels just like every other Far Cry game so far.
Yeah,
I enjoy the main character. He's a lot of fun. Or the antagonist, I guess.
Yeah, he's I think
Man.
a Far Cry series ago, he is like a perfect villain. I love it.
It's pretty solid, and I'm excited to get more into that game as time goes along. But I've got a bunch of other games that are more important in my way, including Parasite Eve, Last Guardian, and Final Fantasy 15. So,
All right. Now,
So since
to
that's
that.
all you've been playing, has anybody beat a game?
wow, way to
God
drop
fucking
that.
I was trying to say that, you fuckface.
Oh, I was waiting for him to play the fucking noise, but he was just like sitting there like, what?
Well, you got to say it, and then I play the noise.
That's how it goes, you fuckface.
gotta do the noise first.
No.
As we say it.
all right, Craig. Have you beaten anything
No.
in this week? Wilson?
No. I started playing Bloodborne. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You could have beat it off
Death.
off cam, and I just wasn't noticing.
And then
Gonna beat it off?
in fucking Shadow Mordor, I'm deciding to do all the fucking little mini missions everywhere because I want more of that stuff to upgrade my stuff. If that makes sense.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, so we got some fucking.
Now
Steam
I'm getting
coming out.
I'm getting a message on Steam. Man, everything is happening today. What the fuck, people? Leave me alone. So I actually
They
did
just
beat a
know.
game this week. I beat
Oh, you did?
I beat Metroid Prime. It was late, but I fucking beat it.
That's right. You beat the Prime.
So the hog is as follows: Caleb Craig in first place with 34, myself in second place with 29, Joe in third with 17, and Cameron bringing up the rear, but very close at 16.
Yeah.
You got like 2 weeks left to beat him, Cam.
2 weeks. Are you sure about that?
I think we only have 2 episodes left for the year.
Well, 1 week from now is the 31st, so
So
exactly,
you have
1
at least
week.
1 week to beat Joe for the year.
yeah.
I need to play 2 very short games.
Well.
Yeah.
You don't think you can do Bloodborne in a week? At the rate you're going?
Let's see. I've played the same level at least 15 times now. I'm
Wow.
not even exaggerating. Is that ridiculous. Another thing I forgot to mention is any items you use before you die are gone when you respawn.
Oh, nice.
So, fuck you is the game that we're playing.
Fuck you the game, huh?
Yeah, it just wants to fuck you over any way possible.
Damn, dude. I'm gonna have to get back into Bloodborne. It still looks like a lot of fun.
It's like I'm playing it, I'm having fun, and when you actually get it down to where you've memorized a level, then it's fun because you're destroying. But when you get to a new spot, you're like, shit, because it likes to have little surprises, little ambushes come at you, and you're just like creeping along, shit.
Yeah, that game is pretty sick. All right, we got any questions?
We do. We have a couple questions here today. This one's titled Mario Run from Corey. He asks, Mario 1, well, he says, I guess, Mario 1 was released in the Apple Store. Mario Run. Sorry. Mario Run was released in the Apple Store yesterday. Has anyone played it so far? If so, what are your thoughts? Have you guys played it?
No, but I have seen it played, and I have absolutely no interest.
Okay. So
Is
that's
it just
our
like
thoughts.
Temple Run then?
Think of a Mario game that's less quality than a Mario game.
Well, okay.
I thought it was like Temple Run with Mario, so you just tap on the screen to make him jump.
Yeah, and you're grabbing coins.
You
instead.
basically you do grab coins, and he's running the entire time, so it's like a nonstop Mario game.
That sounds exactly like Temple Run, where you're just constantly running.
Temple Run is like a third-person thing where you're like behind them, and it is kind of like Temple Run, but it's like a side-scroller thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he says he beat the first 3 free levels and debating whether or not I want to pay the $10. It is a $10 flat cost with no microtransactions. If this is the model or mobile, if this model or mobile gaming is a success, do you think this game will change the current microtransaction model?
No.
All right, that's a good question.
No, it's not going to change anything.
You
The
don't think so?
microtransactions are big money.
They are big money.
For people. Like, people get addicted to those games and pay like a shitload of money to like do little upgrades.
Yeah, I mean-
and like even people like for fucking Pokemon Go, you and I were tempted to put even like a few bucks in to get like the Pokecoins to get like the module things to like get more Pokemon to come to the spots and whatever.
I put $10 into the Pokemon Go.
Yeah, imagine if somebody was fucking addicted to that game and put like shitloads of money in
Dude,
there.
I feel like we were probably addicted when it first came out. That thing was a blast.
Yeah,
And then they ruined it.
Well,
and now
that
it's
game
not.
made millions of dollars, and it's technically free.
Yeah.
So you kind of
Right. I mean, if everybody puts a few bucks in, it's a big success. And
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that do pump a lot of money into it. I mean, same thing with Brave Exvius, the Final Fantasy mobile.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Dwayne watches people stream it on Twitch, and they're pouring like $200-$300 in the game a stream.
yeah.
And they're just getting all these draws to kind of grab the rare characters because they're trying to collect everybody in the game. And people do it. It's crazy. Like, these things are insane for like bread and butter.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Especially asking for $10 for like a heavily watered down Mario game. It's like, no.
Yeah, you wouldn't do it. I've never seen anything.
Maybe if it was like $3, a lower price tag for a mobile game is definitely going to pull in more people than $10.
Yeah, well, I think it's $10 instead of doing the microtransactions, but I don't know. I don't really quite understand that.
Well, the microtransactions are for things that are like, hey, you can buy little outfits for your guys.
Yeah, no,
or
I know.
Stuff like that.
That's what I
and
hated
if they
in-
have like a shitload of those for Mario...
That's the one thing that shit me off when I was playing Dead Space 3. I was like, God, dude, this suit looks cool, but it's like, $2. I'm like, fuck you. How about let me just craft it or
when
pay
they start
$2?
putting microtransactions into main platform games, the world's done.
Yeah, well, dude, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2014 does that. Their campaign wants me to go through a tournament in a course that I have to buy. The campaign fucking wants me to download the DLC to finish it. It's bullshit, and that's how you get better. That's how you upgrade your golfer's stats in this thing, is by playing the fucking campaign, going into the tournaments. But it's like, oh, you can buy the map pack, and then there's like 50 maps, dude. They're all like $3 each, and I'm like, oh my god, I could end up spending over $200 on this fucking golf game. Like, golf is expensive in real life, but that kind of puts it to shame. I mean, if I were to go and actually play the courses I was buying, then yes, I would be paying way more than $200, but I'm not, because I suck in real life, and I want to fucking be good in the game, but I can't without fucking breaking the bank.
It's stuff like that always makes me want to wait until like the game has a complete edition.
Yeah,
and
game of the
that's
year or
released,
something.
and then it's like $20.
Exactly.
Because then you get all the boosts of the DLCs, and you don't have to spend $1,000 on a game.
Yeah, and the bad thing about that I think gaming companies, I don't know if they're necessarily realizing it or if it's that big of a deal. They're losing the running revenue, because I mean, it costs a lot of money to run a business day to day.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're profitable or not, you still have an overhead cost that you have to meet bi-weekly to make sure everybody gets paid. That's cash flow. Now, when you spend like a few $1 million on a game or $20 million on a game, your cash flow is fucking crushed, right? So you need those sales to come in to get that revenue boosting. Yep. But if we have enough people not buying it because they know there's going to be a fucking Game of the Year edition coming out, I imagine that probably hurts. That probably hurts a lot.
I've read an entire article that I think we should do an episode about one of these days. It's about the advent of the digital download and how certain games cost as much as they do because of the disc and then the store prices getting on the shelves, but they've retained that price going over to digital, even though they have less overhead with that.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a reason why it's stayed at, even though games are more expensive to make nowadays, the reason they've stayed at the same price is because they know people are not willing to pay more for games. And so what they do is they've created downloadable content as a way to then encourage people to pay a little bit more money for that downloadable content, but if they don't want to, they don't have to.
Yeah, and I get it, because game prices haven't gone up from the PlayStation 3, from last gen. So we have games that look way fucking better and I'm sure cost way more money, and they're still the same price as those PS3 games.
And the only way to kind of counteract that, if someone really loves the game, then they're going to buy the DLC.
Yeah.
If someone's mediocre on the game, then they're not going to buy it, but they did make that first initial $60 off of them.
Right.
And so the DLC is targeted toward the more diehard fans of a game, and that's where they make their little bit of extra boost. And if you're buying digital, that gives them an even further boost because they don't even have to make a physical copy.
Yeah, so really it's just about the profit margins. They still make money on it, I'm sure, either way, but it's just not as hefty as it used to be. And that kind of stops them from making new games, because you don't have that flowing capital coming in, because the game cost $10 million before, and now it's costing $20 million with the PS4 engine or the Xbox One, So if you really enjoy the game, pick it up for $10. I don't think I would. I mean, I'm kind of hesitant towards mobile games as a whole, because they're kind of just little things you do for a little bit and then you just don't do ever again.
You can get the same amount of entertainment out of a free game. Like Temple Run is a free game, and that's basically Mario Run.
I asked you a couple times if it was, and you said no. But.
Well,
yeah,
it is, but it isn't at the same time.
We had to plant the idea in his mind first, and now it is like budded
so we had
and grown.
Inception into his head.
We did.
Yeah,
it was really easy. We didn't even have to go to sleep, and he was awake the whole time too. Goddamn.
Well, it's a similar sort of thing. It's just not Mario.
Yeah.
And, it's Yeah,
I played
don't know.
Temple Run. I thought it was kind of fun. For like, I played it for like 20 minutes one time because I was at something. I was at like a graduation or something. I was like, "Fuck, I can't handle this."
But yeah,
So
I never really play the mobile games anyway. I'm like, I do something else on my phone.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe we
Yeah,
should
just watch
try.
porn or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we should
porn,
try to
comic
give
books.
a mobile game a try here and there. If it's a
Yeah, I mean, we've only
well
reviewed
talked
one.
about. Yeah, dude. Which one did we review?
Pokemon Go.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
And it was like a really thrown together review of Pokemon
Yeah,
Go.
and we kind of overestimated what they were going to do with it.
Dude,
so.
they had a beautiful thing going on. They had a wonderful idea, and then
they fucked it up.
they did. They fucked it up. We didn't want it to be fucked up. They did this to themselves.
We had a lot of hope for that game.
We did, and if it would have stayed the way it was,
I think they actually have released the second gen now.
They have. Yeah, I read an
But-
article, and I was like, I like felt a slight itch to download it, and then I was like, nah, second gen's gay.
Well, I got my new phone like a few weeks ago, and I haven't re-downloaded it. So.
Yeah.
I still have it on my phone, and every then now and then it gives me a notification of, oh, log in, you get double XP. But I'm like, nah.
Yeah, it's like
it's not worth it anymore. It's not as fun.
But then my battery will never recover.
Because somehow I have an Evolution. I have the water one, I think.
Oh, Vaporeon.
I have all of
Yeah,
them.
Vaporia. And then even they've added a thing where it tells you whether or not the stats on it are amazing. And so apparently my Evolution's supposed to be amazing, but it only has like 900 attack.
Oh, wow.
And
I
so-
haven't even opened it up to see any of that stuff at all.
Or 900 HP. Or
I
something.
think I looked at one of the updates, but I haven't looked at it for like at least 2 or 3 months.
Maybe after this we should go try to take a gem over.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I think that would be a bad fucking idea right now. Because
Yeah,
the
none
people-
of us are even like in the same group,
No,
and I'd have
we're
to
both Mystic.
re-download it.
We're Mystic. You're the
You guys
troubled.
are fucks.
So how about you go take one, and then we'll take it from you. Because
Fuck you fools for choosing the shit group.
Oh, you're the retard group, so
the retard. The retard.
Zapdos is the best legendary bird out of the 3.
I don't know. I think they're all pretty bitchin'. Zapdos is the only one that I had the card for, though. So I have a special place. Although it was one of those decks that was like, hey, it's got a Zapdos in it. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. And that's kind of lame, though, don't you think? Like with card games, when they're like, okay, guaranteed Mewtwo. And it's like, well, I kind of like going through,
But
and I
isn't
know
it
it's
like a weaker Mewtwo than the real one. Does it like that?
No, the Zapdos was just straight up Zapdos. They didn't have any like alterations to it in Pokemon. It was straight up.
They
Back
do
then.
now. They have a shitload of like alternate versions of cards.
My
So.
God, they complicate it. That's when it gets not fun anymore. It's like fucking. It's like that Mario Kart that you have on the. Was it the Wii or the Wii U one? Where I was like really bad at it when we were playing upstairs.
The Wii U, I think.
Yeah, and it's because they're like, "Oh, what tires do you want in your car?" And I'm like, "What? What is this fucking Gran Turismo?" I'm not doing that. I mean, then I play Donkey Kong. He's like a 7,000-pound fuckface, and he can't turn. Like I'm trying to turn. I got the joystick just fucking breaking into the side of the controller. I'm pushing it so fucking hard.
The
It's
thing
like,
is, though,
fucking-
with that, you get to choose what kind of specs you want on your car by picking the specific items. Where in like other Mario Kart games, it still affected those things. You just didn't see it, and you were just picking a cart.
yeah, I guess that's true. You do choose the cart in the old ones, but I don't know. I don't like the over complication of it. Of course at the same time I complain because they keep pumping the same game out. So I don't know I don't know what I want, okay? It's like it's the COD conundrum. They fucking try to advance and then it sucks. I'm like, "Oh, fuck
Well,
you
yeah,
guys."
they go futuristic, and then it's stupid.
They go futuristic and add stupid trends of the time to it to make the game age real
But
fast.
what if they would have just kept it World War II? We would be bitching about that too. We'd be like, "Wow, is there any other war?"
That's true.
It's
You know,
like,
what we would want is maybe minor changes in gameplay, but different scenarios.
yeah, that would be fine. And people, there are studios that get away with it. Look at Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed 1 to 2, the combat in 2 is fucking amazing compared to 1. And
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 is the best Assassin's Creed.
but they have a good formula and they keep using it until they make a game that's like half fucking cooked and release it and everyone shits on them for it.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, but they had a good thing going. So I mean,
the differences between freaking Far Cry 4 and 3 is the story.
Yeah, that's it. And then the Primal in 4, it's literally the same map is what we read.
Yeah, there were some maps people are getting mad because they're
pretty
the same.
fucking close.
Yeah. So anyway, with our question of Mario Run, Dylan actually answered it. He says he's given it a try, and there is no way I'm paying $10 for it. It's quite fun initially, but as expected, it's a very watered-down version of a typical 2D Mario experience. I don't think you're missing much if you choose not to pay for the full version. And Rastlin Mustaine says, not interested in the game, but like how they set it up, though. Get to try, and if you like, $10. Hope Square does that in the future with the DLC stuff. Yeah, it would be nice, I
For
suppose.
DLC stuff?
I
for
think
like
he's-
main games or for the mobile stuff?
I think he's going mobile, because main games, barely any of them actually have DLC, because they come out with one in, 50 years, one each half century. But with 15, I mean, that's what the season pass is for. You just pay the 40 or whatever, the 25 right now, and I need to do that, by the way.
I think I already have it. I think I got the deluxe thing, or I have the season pass anyway.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I got the holiday pass and the free version of it. So
I don't know if you know what you know.
I do know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have another question here from Matunica. It's titled 2017 Nude Life.
Ooh.
It's he says, hey guys, with your first year of Nude Life nearly over, I think it's time to look to the future. New year, new challenges, new lists, and most of all, new hog.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, he brought up the hog.
I've spent the last year reading the show with my ears. So fucking stupid. So my question for next year is, what challenges are you guys planning on? What lists need completion? So far, it looks like some of the suggestions have been made, but I think we need some listception clarification for 2017. He's got 365 movies. No. 52 books.
That.
Yeah, the movies thing is fucked, man. 2 hours a day?
Or an hour and a half. Like, it seems like it's not that big a deal. Like, maybe an hour and a half movie, feel like it may be a longer one. But then if you miss a day, it like piles on and you gotta watch 2 of them, and then it piles on again. And then you gotta watch like 60 in a day, and you're like, I only have 24 hours.
Yeah, that's what happens with the 365. So it would be a sweet, sweet challenge to do, but I can't. 52 books. Joe and I are planning on trying that one out. We'll see how it goes. 12 TV shows, so a TV show a month.
That could easily be done.
Yeah, I wonder if he's talking full-on show, though, so like all
the
6
entirety
seasons.
of the show?
Yeah, I think that would be the hog thing. I don't think...
Okay, because if it's just 12 seasons, I did it like 4 times this year already.
Okay. Well, that's pretty sick. Your TV consumption is through the roof. He also says one Joe film or other created piece of media. That would be a cool challenge. He also says, what will happen to the hog? After Joe from Michigan's domination of the hog, should the ownage and consumption hog be split to make for a fair playing field?
Well, that's kind of
the nude hog is already kind of separate, and that's just the games beaten.
Yeah.
So that's kind of separated.
I mean,
and
if
then
we
the
do
other one is
something to
just
make
the hog.
Joe from Michigan to make all of his ownage, to make it less than what it is, that would kind of make it hard down the road to really know, like, this is last year's. Should we do it like a year at a time, what you've owned or something? But I don't know. I think that'd be too complicated.
Ownage is just ownage.
Yeah,
So,
I think perhaps we need to potentially separate ownage from consumption hog. Either that or release our Uber hog.
the life hog.
Yeah, Life Hog. The Lifetime Hog Awards.
What do we get? Like, are we going to finally get that golden hog statue that we're talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, God, we totally should.
We'll all throw in like $5,000 a year, and
Remember,
then
it
whoever
has to
wins
have
it.
the ruby eyes because it needs to be red.
Yeah.
Red. And then the obsidian balls.
Yeah, a big ass ball sack with these like fucking pool ball sized testicles in there, just fucking huge.
And
How
the rest
big
of
are we
it's
going to
solid
make this
gold.
fucking statue?
I'm
With
thinking,
ivory tusks.
I'm
real ivory
thinking,
tusks.
I don't know, probably like 1.5 by 2.5 feet. So
Out of solid gold.
yeah, solid gold, not plate. We want this thing to be, fucking way over the
Ruby
top.
eyes, ivory tusks, solid gold, obsidian
Yeah,
balls.
I do think we need to retool the hog a little bit, though, because that's kind of brutal. I mean, if we're going to
But
give
it
an
is
award
what it
out...
is, though. I mean,
I know it is what it is, but the guy could just go the rest of his life without doing any sort of hog, any sort of gaming, and he'll still beat everybody for
you
now
never know.
until...
We could have a secret millionaire in the listener base.
Yeah, just fucking buy like a shitload of stuff.
We'll have to discuss this as all four of us are here and see what we come up with. But I do like the idea of sort of breaking off because, I mean, it's good to win the ownage hog, but our show is more about the geek culture stuff. Like, we're consuming the media, we're doing it on a regular basis as opposed to just owning it all.
Yeah, that's true.
So like reading the comics would be taken out into its own thing with game consumption, TV shows, stuff like that. I don't know for sure. I like the idea of it just because it stops it from crippling everyone else from now until the end of time. But it isn't really that fair to Joe from Michigan either, unless, of course, we have an ownage hog and then a consumption hog.
We could just have his name written in the stars, and he can be separated from.
Yeah,
He has transcended.
you know what? I think we'll
He's
go on.
transcended from mere mortal.
We'll go on to that one website where you can buy stars, and we'll just name one Joe from Michigan, and we'll send him the fucking certificate for it. Like, there you go, buddy. You got your own fucking star.
And now he has something for us all to aspire to.
Potentially
to
solar
measure up
system.
against, but you'll never be Joe from Michigan.
Yeah. You'll never have your own fucking solar system. Boom. With planet, with potential
How
life.
much do fucking stars even cost?
Dude, it's like
It's
15 bucks.
it's a scam site,
Yeah.
but you can get the little certificate and it's all fun and shit. So,
Yeah,
dude,
listen,
maybe
just-
we should just do that.
Oh, that would be, yeah. I mean, he did basically destroy everyone else. I don't think all of us combined even reach his score.
Cut to being that star the only habitable star that has actual life, and then the star is named Joe from Michigan.
My God.
We
Who
need
is
to travel
this Joe?
to the Joe universe.
Yeah. Oh, that's a scary thought. So he says, let me have other questions on everyone's lips like, will Joe ever get a job? Did, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Will Candy Craig clear his RPG backlog and can the toilet take it?
I will try, and the toilet might.
Yeah, I tweeted out that video of
the note. Yeah, I know.
And I think he was one of the ones that... Oh, he was one of the ones. I remember him being like, oh my God.
Yeah, you enjoy that view, Matunica?
Yeah, it was... Yeah, I think he did enjoy it. Will Caleb S. fall down a slippery slope and become an evil property landlord? I'm kind of hoping for that. I need to get those pods set up in here.
You should play a Skyrim because you can do that in Skyrim.
Oh, dude, that's like all I'll do. I'll just be like lording over everybody, like, hey, inspection time, come in, and like the house is all filthy.
No, you could jack up the rent to 200%, and the people actually come out to try to kill you when you do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're like, why are you sending assassins at me, Larry? You can't kill me, man. I'm a fucking vampire. I've been awake for a month. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Woke.
So let's see. Have Cody and in Snow's voice, Sarah filed a missing persons report for Cameron.
Probably.
No, I think they just stopped talking to you, right?
No,
Like,
he actually sent me a message later, but
what did he say?
it was something about... I can't quite remember. I have to look it up, but it was like... There was this other place that was going to be this much. I'm like, yeah, about the cat. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't do it either. And then he stopped talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to move in with you guys ever again.
Yeah, I don't think he gets it quite yet. And will Cam ever get his letter from Hogwarts, or will he spend the next year under Caleb's stairs with that dangerous owl?
The cock owl that's over my bed.
Yeah, is that thing still?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. That's good. He says, love the show, guys, and keep up the good work. Happy New Year from Matunica, a year-long reader, lifetime nudie. Uh-oh. It sounds like we're getting a little name for the listeners.
Are the listeners going to be called nudies now?
I think that's something
I think they suggested that, but I think other people were like, don't call us anything.
Yeah, and I was like, you guys can say what you want. I'm not gonna do a.
I'm not a
thing.
fan of calling people like an abbreviation of the show that they like. It's like, no, your description is of the show.
Yeah, well,
could you imagine
I think it's
how
too
many if
fan-girly.
you like combined all those things into one name after all the things that you like? Just be like one fucking ridiculous sentence.
Oh yeah, like the game in Asian Cajun, the One Nation, and whatever the other 3 things you put in the other day.
Yeah, it would
like-
just be sick.
It's like Game of Thrones with Khaleesi. She has like 7 fucking names. Every time someone announces her, it's like a 20-second
Yeah,
thing.
it's like a fucking title.
Yeah, and I think it's to add runtime to the show. It's like they're like, all right, well, this episode's about a minute short. Let's give her all the titles in this
Yeah,
scene.
let's make sure everybody is called by their proper titles.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like having like calling our listeners a certain thing is too fangirlish. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
like
we
that.
did that for Ultima. We came up with Mother Uffas for UFF.
How long did that last?
We say it occasionally. It's not something that we constantly do, though. Oh, I'm looking at my crotch. I thought my dick was hanging out.
No, I was looking.
It's not
at
something
your,
that we constantly.
I was looking at your heroin mark on your arm.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got to talk about that in the end. Not the heroin. I'm not going to bring that up on the show, but no, I'm in these pajamas, and pajamas, for some reason for me, the crotch is just always like, it's like, open. And sometimes I also have boxers that are like, open. So I wonder how many times I've just had like, just like a fucking
just your cack
upskirt.
hanging
Yeah,
out. And
it's
Caleb's
just,
seen, Cam's seen it.
he just doesn't want to say anything because,
Well,
I mean, why
have
would you?
seen one hairy ball from Joe.
Yeah,
he had the hole in the boxers, and the little egg just popped right out like a little chicken. I was like, dude.
Dude, your ball.
And the carpet does match the drapes, just if you case.
I was actually going to ask.
Oh, there we go. Confirmed. Oh, God.
Oh man, pants on when you're around people. Please, pants on.
All right, pants on. That'll be the moniker for today's episode. All right, so I think it's about time we get into some Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime. So before we get into the story of Metroid Prime, let's talk a little bit about the protagonist, Samus Aran. So Samus, get ready, guys, is a female.
Oh, my God. Really?
This going back to the first
Feel less
Metroid
gay
series, even the handbook referred to Samus as a guy. So when it did the sexy 8-bit reveal that Samus was a woman, people lost their shit.
Oh, really? It was a big deal, huh?
Yeah, it was a big deal for the first one because everyone's like, "Oh crap, it's actually a girl." But she has found a way into all of our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so the Metroid series has a really big following. So a little bit of Samus before we get into the game. She was orphaned during a space pirate raid, so kind of explains why she hates those space pirates.
Yeah.
Space pirate.
Plus, they're just elites from Halo, so they're just evil. You just have to go.
What was that one little Flash movie that we watched with Samus and Master Chief?
I think there's something about Halo 2 or something.
Yeah.
I've
did,
seen those, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, so she was orphaned on the home planet of K2L, and she was adopted by the Jozo and taken to the planet Zebes, or Zebes, however you want to say it, where she was infused with their DNA and raised to become a warrior. And as she goes about, she becomes a bounty hunter with this awesome power suit that she wears, and she's hired out by the Galactic Federation many times. And she becomes a fear to the space pirates because of how awesome she is.
Okay, so she's like a space mercenary then.
Yeah, you can say it that way, like a bounty hunter is what she is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a bounty hunter.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so now let's get into kind of where Metroid Prime fits into it all.
Okay.
So if we're looking at the timeline of games as they come out, Metroid, the first one, came out in 1986. Then The Return of Samus, 91. Super Metroid, 94. Then Fusion and Prime both released 2002 on the same day. And if you have a copy of Prime, Metroid Prime, you can do that link with your Game Boy Advance to the GameCube, and you can lock the Fusion suit for Samus and play that in Metroid Prime.
I think
Oh, that's cool.
Fusion is the one that Dwayne said is really good. It's where your suit is like possessed and shit.
Yes.
And he says
Yeah,
it's really freaky.
I love Fusion.
That one is the
that's
one
a
that
really
I
fun
played,
game to play.
aside from
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah,
But-
I think Jake said that one's the best one in the series too. And then
Metroid
Prime.
Fusion is awesome. I love it. I don't know if it beats Prime, but it definitely made me really interested in the Metroid series overall. And I did actually play and beat the original Metroid, which is no small feat.
Yeah, I've
I think
heard.
Dylan's favorite is the Super Metroid.
Right. So now, where does this game fit in terms of events? So the Metroid series, they really like to just pick and choose time frames. They don't make the games in chronological order. So Metroid and then the game Metroid Zero Mission, which is also a Game Boy game, are right after in one another. So the first Metroid is the one 1984. Then Zero Mission came out in 2004, but that takes place right after Metroid.
Okay.
Like her ship's leaving the surface and gets shot down.
All right.
And then after that, you have Metroid Prime, the game we're at.
So it's the third in the chronological order.
third in
of the
chronological order.
series. Okay.
Right. And so a brief overview of what happens in this one. Samus receives a distress signal and travels to Talon 4 to stop the space pirates from exploiting the substance known as Phazon. She discovers that the Chozo once settled there, so she didn't know that beforehand, Caleb. And the emergence of Phazon is due to an interstellar object crashing into the planet, the crater.
Yep, the crater.
And there, as you're going about, there's places that you can scan to kind of get Chozo lore, and they prophesied that Samus would arrive and use her abilities to defeat the source of the Phazon.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a cool part. This game, the story is very light as far as what it actually tells you, but most of the story is found in these little Chozo lore things that you only can see if you have your scan visor out.
So I'm going to get this into it when we do the story part of the review, but I like the way it displays the story because you're intergalactic bounty hunter, you see this distress signal, and you come into the situation as it's
And you don't know
unfolding.
shit,
You
yeah.
don't know anything beforehand, and you're all alone. And I think it does a great job of having that experience be felt. You are now alone on this planet with your mortal enemy, the space pirates, and some other type of evil that's on this planet at the same time. And so now you are playing the job of bounty hunter detective, finding out what this planet is, what happened, and then what the space pirates are doing.
Right.
100 detective.
Yeah.
And so that's how it presents the story to you in that way. It's not going to, here's this huge arc. The arc is you finding out what's going on and then conquering the different things on the planet. So that's what I
Right.
like about it. And without getting, should I get into spoilers? I mean, it's 2002.
Yeah, spoil the fuck out of it.
All right. So the prophecies told of Samus' arrival after gathering all of her abilities, because in every Metroid you have to
get
work your way up,
everything.
except Metroid M, which we're not going to get into because that's a bad game. So she gets all her abilities, defeats the Meta Ridley, and
Barely.
she then for Caleb. Then she unseals the impact crater. She unseals the impact crater with all of the artifacts that you have to collect. The Chozo artifacts that they use to seal the crater.
Right.
the
They're
power.
not all over, and you get little hints to go find them. Yeah.
And then you confront the Metroid Prime.
Yeah. The giant baby beast.
Not
Giant baby beast.
Anyways, you confront the Metroid Prime, you kill it, and then it takes your Phazon suit away from you, the one that made you not get damaged from standing in pools of the Phazon material. And that's how it sets the game up for Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
Very nice.
All right, so a little bit about the development, and Caleb will laugh at this a little bit because I had a chuckle at it, but so after Super Metroid, they were intending to release one for the 64, but the producer, and Caleb, I'm bad at these Japanese names sometimes, so read that one for me right here.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yes, so he said they kept delaying it and didn't release it because he said they couldn't come up with any concrete ideas, and then the Metroid co-creator Yoshio said that he's not interested in it because of the controller. And he was quoted as saying, I just couldn't imagine how it'd be to move Samus around with that controller.
With the N64?
N64.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine moving anything around with that fucking controller.
And that's
Fucking
why
thing just
they
rapes your
delayed
thumbs.
it. That's why they delayed it off the N64. And so Metroid Prime became a collaboration between Metroid Studios and the Nintendo EAD and R&D1's members. So the overall game design was a collaborative effort. Art was mostly done by Retro. Music was all done in Japan. And then funny thing about the Retro Studios, as they were doing this, they had a few different games that they were working on at the same time. And yes, they did classify it as a first-person shooter.
Oh,
and then
good.
In 2000, early 2001, 3 games in development at Retro were canceled. And then July 2001, an RPG called Raven Blade was terminated, leaving Metroid Prime as the only game in development. So like, shit, we got to cancel everything else off and fucking work on this Metroid Prime game.
Right, yeah, it was a big deal. Big deal.
And that is pretty much all about the development. Do you guys have any other questions about it?
It's funny because there's a lot of debate, and this Alistair on the stream was talking to me. There's a lot of debate on whether or not it's a first-person shooter. And I was just like, yeah, it's a first-person shooter.
The engine they created
Yeah.
for it was first-person shooter, but they added, the other Metroid elements you see persistent in their games.
Yeah.
Just tons of platforming, puzzles, and hidden items, and you just have to search and search.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call this a first-person shooter because the first-person shooter mechanics, not that great. I mean, I think we can all
What
agree.
happens when you have just one joystick to move around?
Yeah, it's bizarre, and you get used to it though. But it's tough when you're doing a fight with a very mobile enemy because they just get around you, and you're this fucking slow-moving tank motherfucker, and you can't get around. It takes some time, right? You could dodge,
yeah.
but
No, well, yeah, you can, but you never did.
I got pretty good at the combat by the end, except for the Ridley fight. But that was a different story. That was the way I was going about it was bad.
Yeah.
I was trying to super missile him the whole time, and
No.
his last phase, he's too fast to get a super missile off, so I just started using the red gun.
All you have to do is charge and dodge a few times while you're charging, and then release a super missile and just keep doing that.
Yeah, well,
most of that last part is dodging.
The last part I just stopped using the super missile and I trashed him.
Yeah.
He barely hit me. It wasn't that I was taking a lot of damage before that fight, it was that last part. Anyway, getting ahead of ourselves. First-person shooter. Yeah, at first I was like, of course it's a first-person shooter. That's exactly what this game is. I'm first-person, I'm shooting. But then I started exploring, and I found that most of my joy in this game came from the exploration. It came from me figuring out how to do different puzzles. And I was like, I don't fucking know if this counts as a first-person shooter. It's a first-person game, and I guess it could be classified as a shooter, but I would honestly say that Fallout 3 is more of a first-person shooter than this game is.
Oh, Fallout 3 can be played in third person.
It can, but who fucking does that? I do
when I play with a melee weapon. If I'm not using a melee weapon, I do first person. But for this game, games can be classified with two things. It can be like a first person platformer. It doesn't have to just be an FPS.
The engine they created for it was definitely a first-person engine, and that's what they noted. It's a first-person platformer, first-person puzzle. I don't know how you'd classify it.
It's a Metroid game. That's pretty much how you'd classify it.
It goes deeper. Well, Metroid games are side-scrollers for the most part.
it's an adventure, first-person adventure game with shooter elements, with exploration.
First-person adventure, yeah.
Probably. I mean, it definitely still counts as an FPS. Like, this is still a shooter, but it's not a shooter in the way that every other game is a shooter where the engine is easy to use. Like, with this, it's kind of a pain in the ass to target stuff when it's not auto-targeting.
Well, fucking GoldenEye is a fucking first-person shooter, but it's got shitty controls. You can't just say that it's not a first-person.
Well, it's different, though. It's different because in Metroid, when you try to free aim, her aim just like drops. She has like this.
So
Doom is
the
also
official
a first
genre.
Yeah,
just have to aim.
The official genre for Metroid Prime on the Wikipedia page is first-person action adventure.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It has
action adventure.
I can see why people would be like, "Oh, it's not a shooter," because eventually I was like, "Nah, this isn't really a shooter." Like I shoot, and I am seeing through her eyes, and sometimes I see her eyes, which is awesome. And then I do all this adventure stuff for most of the game, and that's the fun part. So calling it a shooter is weird to me, A first-person shooter is weird because
Boss
that's
fights
not...
were the fun part.
No, boss fights are the fun part, for sure. But regular fighting, I think that's kind of iffy. But anyway, we don't want to get into that right now.
I think Nintendo usually excels at the boss fights in most of their games.
It's kind of their big thing.
Like in
right?
Legend of Zelda, those are like always like some of the best parts. Metroid games, just like every Nintendo game, boss fights are usually a big thing.
Yeah, and that does carry over through all the games I've played from Nintendo. That's a good point. Yeah. They put a lot of effort into that.
Right.
So yeah, like we said earlier, it's kind of all over the place. But the story in this game, it's essentially you crash land and you figure everything out by yourself.
No, you don't crash land in this game.
Oh no, sorry, not crash land. You land and
story of the game. You land on the space pirate frigate, which is in orbit over the planet Talon 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I meant crash land. But that thing blows up.
That thing crash lands, not you.
Yeah.
Why does she stay?
Because as
she's intrigued.
Because what she does is she lands on the frigate that's in orbit. She finds out there's space pirates, and whenever space pirates are up to something, she has to stop it. It's like her compulsion. Okay. And then as you're investigating on the frigate, you notice that there's test subjects in the frigate of like weird things, and you're seeing some references to Metroid and to this material Phazon, and they're using it for weapon stuff.
Yeah.
And so then after the thing blows up, you go down to the planet. After getting all of your armor taken away.
Of course.
And then you have to start investigating and find your power-ups and find out what the space pirates are doing and put a stop to it.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean...
Because, like, if I was a bounty hunter, I would probably just leave it alone until I got paid to do it.
She's not in it for the money, Caleb. She's in it. Remember, her parents were killed by space pirates. And so it's her personal vendetta.
So she's not really a bounty hunter, then. She's just a vengeful bitch.
Yeah. That's
rightfully
like,
so.
That sounds like what that is.
Rightfully
like,
so.
I would wait for the money.
This is kind of a side thing. She was cybernetically enhanced, so she could wear the suit. But without the suit on, she's about 6 feet tall and 198 pounds.
Oh wow, she's a biggie.
And it's all muscle.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Take me to town, baby. Take me to town. Yeah, so I mean,
does it vibrate?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. All right, so that random fact out of the way. So, like we said before, there's no like overarching. Here's what the story is, and here's your quest. Your quest is you're down on this planet. You've lost your stuff, and now you have to go find out what the space pirates are up to.
Right, and I mean the whole game is you reading little logs and you finding out that there are these 12 artifacts
left by the Chozo who raised you, not the same Chozo, but a colony of Chozo.
Right, a colony of Chozo.
And you have a connection to their culture because of that.
Right, so you want to help out, put everything back together, because this thing is like dismantled, basically. You want to gather all the artifacts.
And as you're finding the Chozo lore, you're reading a little bit about their prophecy, and they prophesied of your arrival. And this is stuff you only learn if you're actively scanning.
Yeah, scanning is a big part of accessing the story in this game.
It's a big part of a lot of stuff, but
it is. It's the only way to find anything, essentially. Either that or sometimes the X-ray vision. That I've only used the X-ray to find stuff like 3 times, so the rest of it's just scan. You just pull out your scanning visor and look around the room, and if something fucking pops up in a little square, you go over and check it out.
Yep.
That's how you activate stuff. That's how you start quests. That's how you grab certain items.
And then when you get to the space pirate portion, that's where you start seeing them freaking out that you're there. If you read some of their stuff, it's kind of funny. Like, this bounty hunter is here, and we should send more people out to stop her. Oh shit, she's killing everyone. We should send out these guys to stop her. Somehow her suits allows her to get past all of our security measures. This is crazy. Too many people are dying, and so it's kind of funny to read that into the space pirate.
Yeah, we can hear their like distress logs as we come into like.
And the space pirates, they are an advanced race. They are a militaristic, but advanced race.
They're a race. It's not just like people being pirates in space.
No, it's an actual separate.
They look like elites from Halo, is what it is. They're basically elites, and that's what they look like. They hang from the ceiling.
They are
and shit.
a species of unto themselves.
Yeah, the species space pirate.
Okay, that's kind of dumb. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Maybe. How about this? How about this race of people? We're generalizing here. The race is chloroform. Let's say chloroform.
Gas.
They're a gas race.
They're the elites
race
from Halo. Okay.
Halo elites. But these ones happen to be bounty hunters. The only ones we're fighting.
Pirates.
Yeah, the only ones we're fighting, are space pirates. The elites
But
can
somehow
be...
with scientists who can do advanced genetic manipulations with
Yes.
substances they find on
Oh,
planets.
yes, they're fucking stuff up. They're making some crazy shit in tubes, and the game gets kind of horror element-y at times because it's like there's this fucking tube that shatters, and you have to kill some shit, some Metroid coming out.
Gets all dead spacey.
Yeah, it kind of does, dude. It does. It's weird. But so we're looking
I think
at...
Samus just calls them space pirates, but I think it's their entire race because there's just too much funding behind it being.
You think so?
Samus is a racist.
Kind of.
That's what it sounds like.
But if you think about it,
playing
all
a
space
bigot.
pirates, everything that a space pirate does is to gain more weapons technology to conquer more.
So she's
in
in-
a way they're like not the Borg. They're not assimilating people into their society, but their main objective is to conquer.
Okay. So they're like Daleks from Doctor
And so that's
Who.
why whenever the Galactic Federation comes across them, or whenever Samus does, they have to fight them in whatever they're doing.
Yeah, because they just
Okay.
destroy.
They just destroy everything.
Although,
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of the objective of Metroid Prime, is to get more and more powerful so that you can just lay waste to everything else. So in a
she's
way,
like the same.
she's becoming...
In a way, no, you're trying to gain what you lost.
That's true.
So if
their
she
stupid
already
ship stole it
has
from
that-
you when you were going down to the planet. It's like, oh yeah, thanks for your shit. Fucking joke.
And as you're on the planet, it's not the stuff you had before. It's old technology that you find that you're
Yeah,
putting on your
old school Chozo stuff, which is still
suit, which is the
pretty
same as what you
advanced.
had.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if there's probably more than one power suit, but you're the only one who actively can use it. But that's like into conjecture there.
Yeah.
But there's
That
more
would be
technology on the
interesting if
planet.
Samus ever met like another person with a power
she
suit.
does meet in several iterations of game Dark Samus, the Metroid X, or the X Parasite Samus, who do have power suits, and so fighting yourself essentially is the main theme.
Well, in one of those, isn't it like you're fighting your suit that's walking around? as a
Yeah, your
sentient
suit's
being?
infected as with something that's a sentient being.
Okay, cool. So what do you think about the story overall on this game, Cameron? I mean, it's pretty light, as we discussed, but does it serve the game well enough? I mean,
If you take it from the point of view that you are Samus, that's why she doesn't say a lot, nothing at all, because you are Samus during the playthrough.
right, yeah.
And so you are investigating this, this previous culture that you're fond of, and then you're investigating what the space pirates are doing. So if you're looking at it from that point of view, then yes, it definitely does serve the play, the gameplay.
Right.
So I'm going to give story, I think, an 8 out of 10 because it was really good. Some parts of the game, though, story-wise, it just like you don't know where to fucking go.
Yeah.
And then it'll give you a prompt, hey, go over here. And then you're like, oh, okay. But there's no hand-holding.
No, this game, you just have to explore. You have to spend a lot of time. And without looking up a guide, I mean, our playtimes were quite different. It's like the switch between this game. It was basically the difference between us in Armored Core was this game. I think I finished it like 18, 19 hours, something like that.
I finished it just shy of 14.
Yeah. Yeah, so I spent more time, and I think I had more. No, we had the same amount of power-up pickups. We were both at 79%.
You had more missiles, but I had more health tanks.
Yeah, so we did it in a different way, but we each ended up grabbing 79% of everything in the game, which is crazy. Like, I was looking for shit by the end. I was walking through every fucking place and like trying to find, okay, what do I do to go?
If you go into a room thinking there's something else to this room, you're probably cool.
Yeah, it's like the fucking, what's that? Oh shit, I had something for this. The dude who sells stuff, the dude on the infomercials. I can't remember what his name is.
Which infomercial?
The guy who's like, but wait, there's more. That's what this game is. This game is Billy Mays. Is that what his name is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
This
Billy
game
Mays.
is Billy Mays. You go into a room, you fight the guys, and then it's, but wait, there's more. There's always something else. And it's crazy. It's so awesome. For me,
that would fit more into design, in my opinion.
no, it will. But for me, the story, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it doesn't really exist, but it exists just enough to make sense. Like, you made a really good point. You are Samus. You crash land on this, or not crash land. You go down to this planet after this frigate blows up. You don't have any power-ups left, so you're like, okay, I got to get my shit back, first off. Second off, I'm curious. She's curious about the planet. She loves these Chozo beings. I didn't realize
She didn't know until she was landing on it.
Well, yeah, she didn't know, but when you got there, when you get there, she, that's why you stay. She only landed because the frigate was above the planet. She was wondering what the fuck was going on.
Like, what are the fucking space pirates doing here?
Right, so you got that initial drive because she hates space pirates, but then you also have you find out it was inhabited by Chozo a long time ago until something took over and killed them, basically. And I think that fits very well. I mean, the story is very light, but it works with the gameplay. I mean, this game is not about the story. This is about gameplay. This is about exploration.
So it's kind of like Doom, how the story services the gameplay.
Yeah.
Yes, this actually reminded me a lot of Doom 2016.
Yeah, there were certain aspects, that would remind me of that too. It's
the
not
prophecy
as fast-paced
thing
at all.
No way. Yeah, no.
And it's a slower paced Doom, I would say. Yeah,
Slower paced
without as many different enemy iterations.
with kind of more exploration. There was some exploration in Doom, but only to find like very few hidden things.
Yeah, this one's to find everything. You can't go on without exploring.
Doom 2016 though is like a big fan service game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's like you can find hidden levels of the previous games within a level. So yeah,
yeah. It's
I
good.
did find a few of those. It was pretty sweet.
I found one.
I didn't find any, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't find anyone.
And then all the ammo pickups are the old design, but they still give you ammo.
Yeah, nice. I did see some of the gameplay online. I watched some of it. It's pretty sweet.
All right, gameplay.
So gameplay, like we said, this game is very open world to an extent. There are a lot of doors that you have to get certain weapons to gain access to. Before you walk into a door, you're supposed to shoot it, and then it opens up for you. And
In a way, yeah, it fits the exploration thing. Like I said, it's not going to hold your hand. It'll go, okay, I see you've taken quite some time here, so let's say you just need to go wander this way. And it's seriously, you're wandering, looking through doors, looking for power-ups, and then you're just looking for the right way to go. Then you get to an area that you can't pass. Oh, I need the grapple beam to move any further.
Yeah.
And it kind of shepherds you to the right path using that, but you have to fucking remember where you've been.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of backtracking in this game too. There's more, and then there's also, oh right, I can now access this room that I was trying to get into.
Did
before.
you ever play the Castlevania game that Cameron and I played?
Yeah, Symphony of the Night. Yeah,
Yeah.
This game is the same as it almost.
Yeah, where there's like the exploration and does not fucking tell you anything on where you need to go and what to do.
I was getting Castlevania flashbacks playing this thing for sure. It's very similar in its layout. It's just different, I would say. The voice acting is,
better,
well,
if there is any. Is there any?
I don't know.
I did not. I didn't see any cutscenes for that game.
Voice acting. At all in this
but the rest of it's pretty legit.
There is, it's all textual based. Then the enemies make noises and grunts, but there's
That's about the extent of the voice acting. So
there's not a single bit
It's
of
better.
voice acting.
It's better because it doesn't exist. And that's Symphony of the Night.
Gameplay.
So we got
move around the environment controls. How is that?
The controls, it's a very platform-centered game, so there's a lot of jumping up to different spots and then trying to gain access to...
Yeah, I saw Cam doing a lot of that.
Yeah, to new zones, and that can be frustrating at times. I mean, the vision, you have very limited vision. You are literally a tank.
You have one joystick to control movement. And so with this joystick, you can either turn left or right or move forward and backward. You can't do both at the same time.
Right.
And so when you need to go around a corner, there's no strafing around the corner. You just have to do like a 2-point turn. You go into when you're there, then turn, and then go down that hall.
Yeah, it's like wide turns. It's almost like we're driving semis. We have to
get around that. The right button, bumper button on the top. If you hold that down, it ceases forward and backward movement, and then you can manipulate your gun. You can look everywhere,
right?
And then you can use that to lock onto targets. And then once you've locked onto a target, you keep them in the center of your viewfinder, and then you can strafe all you want and dodge.
Right. So they made the combat a little easier than the platform.
So they tried to. They know that it's bad to only have one joystick, and they try to get around that the best way they could. So one button locks down forward and backward movement, but now you can look and do finer movement stuff. But again, it's not like you can just go aim anywhere you want. The second you stop moving around, it snaps your gun back to center.
Right.
So if you need to look at something above you and like aim and shoot something up there, there's another button you can press to kind of like
lock on to what you're looking
lock
at.
on, or to not make your gun go back down. But if you don't do that fast enough, you snap back down to center, and
Yeah.
that's really frustrating when you need to do some of these puzzles.
Yeah.
And with platforming, if you know 3D platformers, you can with 2 joysticks, you're jumping onto stuff, you're looking down, and you can plan your landing. With this game though, there's no looking down. You just got to believe the platforms below.
Yeah, you just gotta have faith.
Do you think that the game suffers because of the GameCube controller?
There is some suffering from the GameCube controller for sure. It's limiting your movement in your way that you can access the environment, but once you get used to it, it's not as a big of a detriment as you'd think.
Yeah, at first it is pretty rough, and being able to look around is something that I really like to do in a game. It's comforting to know exactly where I'm landing, but you get kind of used to the levels when you're running through trying to hunt stuff down, and it's not a big deal later. Let's see the rest of it. You get power ups. You get to go into Samus's ball form, of course, and that allows you to access smaller areas, usually literal like little ball tubes. I don't know why they put that in, except for maybe the prophecy told them that you would need access.
That's the only thing that makes sense. Well, we need to make this stuff, or they just carry giant fucking power orbs everywhere that fit.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this requires an orb to gain access to, and you're like, oh, I could go orb, and then you go orb, and you get in, and you're like, oh, that was awesome. It was like it was made for me. Oh wait. It's just bizarre, but yeah, with the whole prophecy thing, I think that works. It fits because they were like, oh, well, we need to build this because she's coming in
But
the
that's
future.
the thing about all type of like Metroid games and platformers, where the environment, to make it challenging, you have to do a lot of jumping. But if you're thinking about it like, dude, I'm on a spaceship that was made for people to use. People are not fucking jumping everywhere they go. So
Yeah, of course, these are space pirates. They're not real people.
I was thinking of Metroid Fusion right there, because in the Galactic Lab, there's a lot of platforming, and you're just like,
How do people get around during
Exactly.
their day-to-day
Well,
jobs?
Think about in Castlevania how that was fucking set up. It's a fucking castle. Somebody lives there.
yes, but
and
it's-
yet there's
but it's
monsters,
Count
and you have
Dracula's
to.
castle. So
Yeah,
Count
but-
Dracula can do whatever he fucking wants. He can fly. He doesn't need platforms.
that's fair.
Still,
He's
though,
got all his upgrades. He set that up.
He made
After
a
the
castle
fact.
to make it hard
Well,
for people to get to him
the thing
without
is-
certain powers.
in the Castlevania lore, every time that the castle comes back with Dracula, it changes. That's why they're like, hey, we can redesign the castle and make the game fresh again. So that's like, and it's
But in
the same
Castlevania,
every time. Just
if you think of
fucked
it,
up castle.
he has a fucked up castle designed to make it hard for people to actually reach him and to die before they even make it to him. And that makes sense to me. And when it's a fucking Metroid Fusion, and you're on this biological research station for scientists, we're not talking like pro athletes. We're talking scientists, and they're making it day to day to their job.
Do they have jetpacks?
No, they don't. It's just terrible.
Yeah, it's weird. But I will say in Castlevania, I can defend it because he has all the power-ups, so all of the stuff that gets in normal people's way doesn't get in his way. And he just sets it up. Of course, I don't know where his servants are. Like, what's the point of having a castle if you don't have people to subjugate?
All the monsters are technically his servants.
Oh, well, then he's fine. They're fine. Yeah, he's got it made.
Yeah, even Death is his servant.
He
So,
he
that's
essentially has all the power ups that we need to gain access to areas. So he just puts that in there
I don't
for any
remember
chump
fighting Death again.
What?
chump that doesn't have it.
That's because Death is in the reverse castle.
Death is in the reverse castle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So gameplay in this one, clunky controls at the beginning, but you get used to them.
Right.
I don't feel that they add an extra layer of complication to the game, but they've made ways for it to not be so hard. So
Right. One thing I will I kind of bitched about for a while is whenever I got into fights with the fucking space pirates in this game, it was kind of frustrating sometimes. Like they do everything they can to make it do as much damage to you as possible. I know that seems kind of obvious, but we're talking their fucking jetpack is breaking and they're spiraling out of control and they slam into you to do just that extra little chunk of damage every fucking time you kill one. And it was frustrating at first, and I was like, I'm not enjoying the combat. I like the boss fights. I love the boss fights, but the day-to-day combat, the like zone-to-zone combat, I was not feeling. It was very difficult at times.
Just
I
felt
ended
like
up
it got in the way.
I don't know if it was my previous playing the game as a child that helped me get around stuff like that, but I felt like I wasn't ever ass against the wall. This is too hard and too pointless of combat.
Yeah, I just don't like the way it's designed. I don't like how you can't look around and you can't lock
That's
on.
the
You have
controller
to.
fault, really, though.
Well, yeah, but they made the game, so I mean, I don't know how they could have made it differently.
You
but
make a game with a controller that has one joystick. What do you do?
It has two. The other one's just an extra D-pad. You could have made it.
C stick.
Yeah, the C stick. Jesus.
But that C stick does not have the same range of motion.
No, it doesn't. So I understand it, but it was still frustrating. But I mean, in the end, all I would do is just aim up and then lock it and then lock onto somebody when they flew by.
That's
so I got
exactly-
used to
yeah.
it, and I got pretty good at the combat. I could kill a lot of people without taking much damage.
For me, I would say the gameplay, which is the big part of this game, is about 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving the gameplay 9 out of 10. There are some drawbacks, but for me, the overall experience wasn't
Wasn't perfect, but
it wasn't perfect. Overall experience, there was no huge detriment after getting used to the controls.
Yeah.
And some of the boss fights are amazing. And then once you get it down with the other enemies, like you know which beam to use on which enemy, it's just
Yeah, and that's another thing. Throughout the game, you not only are you looking for your extra equipment, like your grapple hook and your gravity suit, which allows you to double jump. Or no, that allows you to jump underwater as if it was not water. So basically, everything is super easy underwater again. And your ball form and all this other stuff. You're also looking for new guns, which allow you to access different areas of the map. So what'll happen is you'll come across a room, and it'll have like a red door on it, and you're like, okay, I don't have the red gun. So you know, all right, I need to go find the red gun, and then I have to backtrack to this red door, blow it open, see what's behind it. A lot of times it's a power-up or some extra boost. Sometimes you find upgrades to those weapons that you find, like the red laser beam has a flamethrower thing. That's pretty cool. I didn't really use it a whole lot, but it is...
So I did find all the special pickups, like the pulse rifle or the electric gun that has like this little beam that'll shoot out and connect to the enemy that stays there.
Yeah.
The ice gun has this little ice spreader that will get multiple enemies at the same time. And then the flamethrower off of the red gun.
It's
which is
cool
nice.
looking. It's awesome, but I just didn't use it very often. I didn't need to.
Fucking all those weapons will just fucking drain your missile storage.
Yeah, which is another thing you're hunting down. You're hunting down missile capacity, which is in the form of missiles just floating around, and they're usually in areas that you have to break things, shoot a stalactite or stalagmite, I can't remember which one's the hanging one, down, and it breaks through something, blowing up certain areas with your morph ball. You eventually get a power-up to do, what is it, like super bombs? Is that what it is? A super bomb, and that blows up a certain material that's lying around, and you gain access to new areas. So it's like, it's big. There's a lot of stuff. The map isn't super big compared to most games. Like, it's tiny compared to Final Fantasy, but there's so much in each area. It's like crazy. You can spend a ton of time just going through and finding everything, and it's... I absolutely love the gameplay in the end. I love the idea of going around and searching for extra upgrades and like, okay, this boss is too hard. Now let's go try to find some health packs. Let's go find the upgrades for the weapons. Let's go find the missiles. And I enjoy the backtracking and trying to find stuff. That's something in Castlevania that I also loved. I remember, this sword, this bat form. I remember an area that I couldn't get to, and it had shit on the top and the bottom that would damage me, so that's where I need to go with the bat. So I'd backtrack, go find that area, unlock it. And the nice part about this game, there's also a pretty useful map. It's a very well put together game map that allows you to like go back and kind of look at those areas so that you can get to them quick enough. Which is great for me because I cannot do in-game stuff.
Were there teleporters in this game to get you back to certain areas?
It's not so much a teleporter; it's a elevator. They have elevator access, so you have to go to an elevator, and it'll take you to a particular spot on the next zone, and then you can take that zone and then take an elevator to another spot. So there's a lot of elevator travel, and you get pretty used to it. You're like, oh, I need to go back to this part in the mines, and I need to take this elevator to get to this section of the mine, so I need to go to Magmore and then there. So there's a lot of that. It's not so much like a quick travel thing because it takes a little while, but by the end, I mean, you have the grapple and you're able to just jump on these grapple points and just turbo through the zones. But I loved finding all the stuff. I think the boss fights were incredible. Ridley was a little fuckface, but once I figured out that the super missiles were not the best thing for his last tiny little chunk of health, I just trashed him. Like there's a lot of dodging. The fight mechanics for that fight were incredible. The giant stone guy that I glitched the first time. What he does is
the guy made it of basically rocks. He can turn into a little ball himself and roll around. And somehow Caleb dodged him and he got fucking stuck in a wall and he just sat there unloading on the dude. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
You can't do this.
he just got stuck. And then I fucking died after the fight, though. I didn't go back to save because I was thinking, I'm getting better at the game. I should be okay. Nope, you're not okay. Fucking save in this game. Don't not save ever, all right? There's too much out there that's trying to kill you and
I
is
think
very
that's
good at killing
perfect
you.
advice for literally any game.
Yeah, probably. So I killed the guy because he was stuck in a corner and he couldn't do anything to me. Died and then went back and fought him again, and he was not easy.
I looked at him like, you don't deserve this kill. And then he died a little bit later, and then he died on the boss. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I think I killed him after dying two or three times. But it's just a lot of fun. There's like tactics you need to get down with the final boss. I mean, he goes invisible and you have to open up your different views, and I was understanding that part, and then Cameron, I was like, why am I not damaging him? And I guess you have to stand in the phazon pools, and then you go like auto mode.
Yeah, hyper mode.
Yeah, and she fucking tears his ass when she goes into that mode. It's just like endless barrage of fire, and it's crazy. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you've got weak points that you have to hit, break open chunks on the rock guy, and then you have to shoot his weak spot, and then it resets to a different zone on him, and it's a lot of scanning for the boss fights too. You have to like scan him up and be like, okay, what are they weak to? Okay, this guy's weak to super missiles, which is normally the case for everybody because they're fucking nukes.
Yeah, super missiles will shoot 5 missiles at a time along with a power shot, and then with that rock dude, it's really easy to open up his weak spots. So
it's pretty easy once you get it down. So I think the gameplay, I also agree, is a 9 out of 10 for this game.
Yeah.
It's not perfect because the controls are clunky at times, and even late game there were times where I was like trying to do stuff in the final fight, and it was because I couldn't turn fast enough that I was getting hit, and it's frustrating. But in the end, I mean, you get pretty used to it.
Going to ball mode, you are faster than normal walking.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
But
so if you need to
go up
dodge
a hill, you're extremely slow in ball mode. So keep that in mind.
And another thing that I detract from the gameplay is the camera angles at times. So when I'm fighting that rock guy, you go into ball mode when he goes into ball mode because he goes real fast.
You have to do it like before he starts churning, or else you're just going to get fucking raped.
He's just going to run you over anyway. But he goes into ball mode, and then you go ball mode, but then the camera sort of does this like third-person side view, almost like the side scrollers that the games used to be, and you can't see the guy. You're just seeing like it's like a panoramic view
You
of.
just hear the rumble of him coming. You're like, shit.
Yeah, so there were so many times where I was charging around because I'm trying to go super fast just to keep him way far away, right? And I would charge into him because the camera wouldn't allow me to see that he was there. And I'm like, I know Samus knows where he's at. You have to have some sort of vision while you're in ball form. So why am I not able to see it? And that was kind of frustrating in the game, but it was really only a couple moments where that happened where I was like, God, dude, the camera just doesn't care about you. The camera's like, this is the view you get, and that's, you don't throw a fit, you know? Yep. That's how it is, so there's some issues with that, but overall, great as far as gameplay goes. So what do you think on the design of this game?
Right,
I mean,
so
the enemies, the area,
and then once you clear out an area with easy enemies, you go back. The hard enemies are there.
Yes,
and then just the onion layer of every room on the level. I think they just put so much time into designing the levels themselves, and then the enemies that will fill the area. Like, I think one of my favorite enemies to fight were the Chozo ghosts.
Yeah,
those were a fun. They would fuck you up in groups, but once you get down their pattern, they are a lot of fun to fight. And then even the jetpack space pirates, the fucks that'll kamikaze you after you bring them down. If you use the right gun on them, they don't do that anymore. I think for me, just the amount of just thought that they put in design, the way everything just works, and there isn't anything in the design that I felt was I don't know, clunky or just undesigned.
So like the graphics, everything looks great.
Well, 2002, it was awesome. 2002 because it looked decent.
GameCube
on my computer.
was a pretty powerful system.
I mean, it looked awesome on my TV, blown up to my TV size, and it wasn't totally pixelated. I mean, look, I might have looked like I needed glasses for a little bit, but I got used to that. But overall, I think in design is a 10 out of 10 on this game.
All right, 10 out of 10 is acceptable.
It's
all the
acceptable.
all the little puzzles, all the little design things, and the oh wait, there's more. It's just all of it, so good.
Yeah, I will also give it a 10. I think the design of this game, along with the gameplay, is key to the game. I mean, this is Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is going around and finding these areas that you can blow open a wall to. You can shoot the floor open. You can, shoot a fucking chunk of the ceiling down, break a hole in the ice, go down there and get a missile upgrade, blow up in your ball form, do a super missile or a super bomb in a certain area, gain access to something that you don't need, but is extra and it helps make the game easier. I think it's crazy, and it's very well put together. I think the environment fits. I love each of the zones. I think they're all really cool. They all have their own little interesting aspects to them. I think the enemies look great. The gun animations are fantastic. And overall, I had zero complaints about the design of this game. I think everything looks fucking way good for 2002. I was really impressed with it from the beginning.
At first I was like, playing the game, and I'm like, I think the game was like 2002, but that can't be right. It looks too good.
Yeah.
And I go and look, no, it's fucking 2002. I remember playing it 2002, so yeah.
So great job, Nintendo, on pumping this fucking beast out as far as the design of the game goes. All right, so what about music / sound? What do you think? Yeah, that is a random sound.
Is that a common sound?
Yes.
Okay.
In the soundtrack, it'll be going like...
A lot of the music is atmospheric in certain areas. You'll just have this atmospheric noise, and sometimes it pulls your attention away from the gameplay with the... It's just random little...
yeah, like somebody's inhaling.
And you're just like, what the fuck? And then there is no like overwhelming thematic music in this game until you go to Magmore, which is like the Egyptian army soundtrack, just like marching.
The Egyptian army soundtrack.
He's going to pull it up, I think, but most of the design into the soundtrack was mainly atmospheric. We're going to accompany this level with a certain sound to kind of describe to you, oh yes, I'm here, this is where I'm at, because this is what it sounds like. But yeah,
here's the Magmore Caverns theme. And Cameron and I just saw, in like our minds, we thought of this like 2D Egyptian army that's like moving their arms and legs on opposing sides.
I think I've heard a song that was similar to this in one of the Mummy movies.
Yeah, it sounds like it belongs in something like that, but the soundtrack, I mean, personally, I think it's great.
It's full of this level that you're at, if you can tell, it's full of magma.
Yeah.
And so this is like the most pervasive sound in the game, where this is the most like actual music being played that's outside of a boss fight.
Yeah, what about the
yeah, see, that's Talon Overworld, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
And so this one had less atmospheric. This actually had a theme for this area, where everywhere else was just a little, or the little bits of sound to just add to the overall experience of that area. But each area had its own distinctive sound.
Yeah, you could tell where you're at, and
just by the music.
Yeah, just by the music. And by the time I was getting near the end of the game, I was thinking about the soundtrack when I was jumping on the elevator to go into a certain area.
How does the music switch? Does it switch naturally when you move from one area to another?
So the music switches as soon as you jump on a little elevator to go to a new area. But just do Talon 4 if you wanted to do Talon Overworld if you want that little.
Oh, I don't want to worry about that one. I want to talk about the main theme.
Okay.
This thing is what happens when you jump onto the game at first. You open it up and it starts playing this. And honestly, dude, this sounds like a bonus theme song that they came up for the X-Files, but they decided to go with the one that they chose instead. Just listen to it for a second. Just listen to that.
It does sound like if X-Files were a little more action-y, this is what they would have went with.
Yeah.
Sort of more horror kind of thing.
This is bringing back memories of Metroid.
Yeah, this is exit the game, load the game up, see how far you are percentage-wise, memories. So yeah, that's another piece of the music, and It sounds conspiracy theory-esque almost, just a teeny bit with some electronica mixed in. So I thought that was a fun theme, and I was like instantly like, oh wow, the soundtrack's pretty sweet in this game.
Yeah. So soundtrack there, the opening scene, the boss fights had music that didn't pull your attention to the music. It just aided the overall experience of that boss fight.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking at that way, sound, there's no voice acting like we said before. Zero voice acting. And just the sounds of each of your guns were distinct and unique. Missiles had their own unique sound, and super missiles had their own distinct sound even from that. And same with every other weapon power-up you got. Everything sounded its own way, and it was all good. Nothing sounded bad.
Yeah.
Enemy noises that they would make were awesome. Each enemy had its own distinct noise it would make. And then overall, the environment would do stuff. And I think they did a really good job of designing that sound for each environment.
Was there sounds for like footsteps or anything in that game?
Yes.
There was? Because I don't know how I feel about the footstep kind of sounds, because sometimes in some games it's fine,
Do you
but when
remember
you walk on
footsteps?
like metallic surfaces, it gets really annoying.
I don't think
because
I
there's
remember
always
sounds
like
for
clink, clink,
footsteps.
clink.
I don't remember anything standing out.
For footsteps
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah, no. One thing I was annoyed by, every time you get close to a area that's hot, it'll do this like soccer whistle noise. It's like a coach whistle. It's like, beep. And I'm like, fucking God,
So
that noise
part
is
of the
so...
gameplay is you have like the part of your suit, you have a danger level warning.
Yeah.
And so whenever you get to something that can hurt you, like a substance, it'll have a little warning.
Yeah. And when it gets too high, it'll do this like this fucking like coach whistle thing from a soccer thing. It's like, toot. And it's really bizarre, but that's the only time I was like, what the fuck?
Helpful, but at the same time annoying.
Well, it's
a
weird.
high-pitched chirp, but it doesn't become your world. It's like in the background for you. Just let you know that you got to be wary of.
Yeah,
which you already are because you know where you are.
Oh, well, I would imagine that if you saw fire or fucking magma, you would assume that it's going to destroy you.
Yeah, so yeah, the enemies sounded great. The animations, there were, like Cameron said, there's nothing in this that takes me out of it. There's no like crazy death cry or anything of that nature that just sounds so jokingly bad that I could ding it for it. I think I'm going to give music and sound a 10 as well. I don't think I had a single problem with it. I think the soundtrack is excellent. It's one of the best in a game that I've heard outside of Final Fantasy in a while. I mean, soundtracks aren't always a big deal. It's a lot of times
it's like
they're just
more subtle than other ones, but it helps in a good way.
yeah.
It definitely complements the gameplay. It doesn't
Other than
detract from
Magmore,
it.
it's very subtle. But Magmore is fucking awesome the whole time. It is up there in your face kind of a thing.
It
but-
is the enemies there are more in your face than a lot of other areas.
And the area is an enemy too. It's fucking lava everywhere. So but-
I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 as well. I did enjoy the soundtrack. Yeah, it just aided gameplay and it helped you know, oh yeah, this is where I'm at. This is the level.
right, yeah. It's crazy. That's a good thing when a game does that. When a game has a good enough soundtrack or a soundtrack that's recognizable enough that when you're going into the zone,
You immediately know.
yeah, I start going like when I start the game up, and then Magmore, I like start doing my little march animation in real life.
I think that's supposed to be the Chozo, though. Oh, the male voices you hear.
Oh yeah.
I think that's supposed to be the Chozo.
Oh cool.
I think I'm just talking out of my ass because if I remember from other games, the Chozo had kind of the
Like a
deep
choir
baritone
or
choir sound,
oh
yeah.
okay. So they the 112th Chozo choir. A very cultured group of people.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's
Nintendo just releases like a soundtrack. Of
yeah.
the
That's what
Chozo.
they call it.
They've developed this kick-ass power suit that people can wear. So I don't know that maybe they do have culture.
Yeah.
They leave a lot of stuff behind,
That's true. Yeah.
artifact-wise. But yeah,
Yeah. So the final category for our ratings is replayability. How likely are you to replay Metroid Prime? I mean, does it have enough variety to pull you back in? Is it something that you're glad you're done with and don't necessarily need to go back into? Is it something you were dying to jump back on right after you finished it? What do you think?
I think replayability for me is going to be, well, since this is the second time I'm playing it, not beating it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give replayability a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Because It's the percentage. It's the hawk status of wanting the 100% and the gameplay itself not being something you have to bear. It's something that you get used to and you're really good at it. So, a 9 out of 10, I would go replay this game to get 100%.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. And the reason why is because right when I finished, I was like sad that I had other games in my way because I was like, I want to go through this game again and see how fast I can beat it. Because once you figure something out, you're just like, Jesus, I could have done that in 2
look
seconds.
At some of the time runs. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, the speed runs on this thing are crazy fast, especially compared to my ass where I'm sitting at like almost 20 hours at the end. I'm like, fuck, dude.
And somebody else beat it in like 4.
Yeah, if that, dude.
Less.
It's
Less?
crazy, yeah.
What kind of fucking speed runs are you looking at here?
I've seen some ridiculous speed runs.
I've seen 2-hour ones.
But 2 hours, 2 hour speed
2
runs.
hours for Metroid Prime?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think I saw some that were that fast.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and it's once you figure out where stuff is, you can go back and get it really
Well,
quickly.
not only that, but you'd have to be a god at the platforming. I mean, like, I saw some of the platforming stuff Cam had to do, and he
yeah.
fucking barely missed a jump a couple times, and he had to fucking go all the way around
One
to
time
get up
she'll
to there
do like a
again.
little hop at the end of a jump. If she falls for a little bit, she'll do a little bounce. And if you do that right off the edge of a platform, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, it's like everything's covered in lube. You just fucking land on the platform like...
Well,
and then
yeah,
you fall.
you'd have to fucking know timing like fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's uber hog to get a speed run done on this thing. But honestly, I could probably go through it in probably 7 hours, 8 hours maybe at the
so
most.
cut down like more than half your time.
Yeah, and I could get just as many items out of it because I know where I need to go. I know what guns open what. I know to not backtrack to a certain area because, yeah, I have the gun to open up the fucking zone, but I don't have everything else. I don't have the underwater thing. So, yeah, I get the access, but I don't have gravity suit, so I can't actually do anything in that area. So, fuck it. But there's so much to do in this game, and I wish I had time to play it again immediately, but unfortunately, I do not. And I think it's a game that everyone should play. I really think that it is. And
It definitely fulfills one of my childhood desires and wishes to play this game because I had played on the Game Boy, the different Metroid games as a kid, and I loved them. And then when Metroid Prime came out, and I was looking at that, I'm like, I wanted to play that game. And so when I got it as a kid and I was playing it, I was just having the time of my life. But unfortunately, circumstances never really allowed me to play the game.
Yeah.
And just time went by and never beat it.
well, I mean, did any of us even have a GameCube?
I had a GameCube as a kid.
I had
Oh,
a
did you?
GameCube
In 2002
for
I had
a
a
while.
GameCube.
Oh, I guess I'm the only chump that didn't have a GameCube ever.
I never got the Metroid games though.
I got the GameCube for the Metroid games. I was a Metroid fan as a kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, this kind of fulfills your childhood wet dream of finally seeing that Samus
And
getting those power brows during the fucking elevator scene. She's like,
But
it's intense, dude.
the enemies, though, were a lot harder as a kid than they are now.
Yeah, isn't that crazy when we're looking back at like, man, I was a bitch before. Like I couldn't beat this mission in what game was it? Fuck it, I don't remember. But there was a mission that I thought was, it was Destroy All Humans. It was the mission where you have to break into the area where they're holding your buddy and you find out he's dead. I could not do that mission when I was in high school. I couldn't. Like, it was just, there were too many dudes. I was always getting blown up. I could not function. And I beat it in the second try this time around. And I'm like, man, I sucked at video games before I started a video game podcast. I was just so
It
cash.
seems like sometimes when you leave a game for a while and then you come back to it, you're way better at it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with the guitar, too. Like, I'll be crushing through a song, and I'm like, wow, I suck at this song. And then I come back on 2 or 3 days later, and I 100% it after 3 tries. The old Blitzkrieg Bop.
Nice.
Irritating song, by the way. So our total overall ranking, I gave it 48 out of 50. Cameron gave it a 46 out of 50 for a combined 94 out of 100. One
Damn.
of
Is
the
that
best games of all time.
Is that the best one we've had?
I don't believe it's the best. I think Diablo 2.
Was that one higher?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive of that. But anyway, Cameron, you got any last thoughts for this game?
For me, like I said before, it was a childhood dream. Metroid's been close to me as a kid. Me and my brother both loved the game. I've beaten Metroid Fusion several times. And yeah, I loved it. And if you're new to the Metroid series and want to get started, Metroid Prime is a great way to start getting into the story and, making it, just getting acquainted with it and then having fun at the same time. And then you can start getting to the bullshit difficulty levels of Metroid, the first one.
Yeah. I think it's a great area to start. I mean, it's what was it? Did you say the third chronologically?
So chronologically,
Or was it
is
second?
the third.
Okay, yeah, and it doesn't even matter.
Because, like I said before, Metroid and then Metroid Zero Mission, those are right after another, like in the same planet.
Oh, okay. So it like we said though, I mean, this game you can pick
And I
it
have
up whenever.
played Metroid Zero Mission too.
I wouldn't worry about playing the other ones before, unless you do want to do a series.
Does this
playthrough.
game make you want to play the other Metroid games?
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah. I was
possibly
thinking.
continue doing the Metroid Prime series.
I'm having nostalgia for the Metroid series right now.
Yeah, Cameron and I are thinking about nominating Metroid Prime 2 and 3 in the near future.
Did
because-
playing Castlevania make you want to nominate this game?
No, it didn't. It just it's just a game that's been sitting in the back of my mind.
And
for
did
a
you
while.
realize it was so similar of a game to Castlevania? Like they're very,
Or
very
did
close.
you only
Yeah.
realize that when you started Metroid Prime up again?
It has similarities. I didn't really realize the similarities until I was playing it again. But when you're going to the Game Boy Metroid Fusion type play through, or even the bullshit Metroid, the original one, then when it's all side scrolling and bullshit difficulty and getting power ups and going back and forth, then yeah, there's a lot of
The
similarities.
side scroller ones are definitely closer.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
that I've seen.
Yeah. There's the.
But
it's
anyways,
nuts.
the Metroid Prime is actually a 3-part story. So we just got part 1 of the story. So the other 2 lead directly from it. And so if you want to look at it at a story standpoint, we've only seen the first third of the story.
All right. Well, you know
Well,
what,
maybe
Cameron?
in season 2 you guys can continue.
Yeah, I think Cameron, this should be one of the ones that we kind of push for in our within the podcast. Maybe
I agree because I definitely want to start playing Metroid. So Metroid Prime 2 is on the GameCube and Wii, so we're probably looking at the same control type. But then Metroid Prime 3 is solely on the Wii.
Okay, cool, awesome. I think I maybe saw one guy playing Metroid Prime 3, maybe in high school. I know there was a kid who always.
possibly.
There was a kid, his name was Shadow. He was a weird fucking dude. He never showered, so it smelled awful. But what he had was this little TV, this little briefcase thing that he pulled open, and it had a TV, and it had his GameCube, and it had his controller, and it was like this
I've seen people
self-serving
do
thing.
that.
And on lunch, he would just go play Metroid Prime. He was always playing Metroid Prime. It's like the game. And I was always watching. I'm like, man, I want to play that, but I don't know if it's going to make me be this guy or what. But he had it right. It was a great game. And I only ever saw him in the beginning stages, so I think he fucking played it like 50 times. And not sure if he ever did 2, but I do remember the spaceship. I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh yeah, this is that game that kid was playing in high school. So I think we're going to have to make it a point to nominate at least one Metroid Prime game until we get the series done. I'll nominate Metroid Prime 2 the next time it's you and I, and then you can do 3, so we kind of trade off.
Nice. We'll get this series done because it deserves to be played and rated. It's such a good, and it belongs. But if you look at the way they release games, they release them in a series of 3 for Metroid. Metroid 1, then Metroid. What was the order again?
Samus Returns, wasn't it?
So there is Return to Samus in 91, and then Super Metroid in 94, and those all kind of are the 3. And so this Metroid Prime thing, the way they release in 3, is calls back to
So
that.
it's like a nice trilogy each time, like
Yeah.
Star Wars, basically. So cool. Yeah, play it, guys. It's worth it. Second greatest game of all time, according to Nude Clan. Diablo 2 has a 96.
2 points higher.
Yeah, and I agree.
I wonder if we're ever going to get 100% game.
I don't know, man. Nothing's perfect. I mean,
perfect,
we've been
man.
playing games that are on the 100 greatest games of all time pretty steadily for this podcast, and none of them have been perfect. So I don't know. I don't know if it's achievable. We will find out in the future. Yeah, you guys got anything else you want to talk about? Anything else that happened during the
Anything-
week? Or
Anything left to add? Nope.
Are we going to do the our own personal getting fat, or no? Should we wait for Joe rant?
I don't know. We normally do getting fat on the non-reviews.
All right.
But we've just had 2 reviews No, last time we didn't. We didn't do getting fat last time, did we?
No, we
No, we did the. It was just entirely questions.
Yeah, it was that mega question thing. Damn.
Yeah. Took a
And
while.
I think next episode we're gonna have a end of year getting fat review of our yearly goals that we started at the beginning.
Yeah,
of the year.
yeah. We're probably gonna do a awards thing too. With UFF, what we do every year is we do like fan awards. So people who are like submitting the most stuff, really active on the forums, we would give them rewards. We're gonna do the ultimate hog next week for like whoever had the most hog points. Actually, no, that's gonna be January because the hog is
I
set
think
up.
the first episode of January is our major hog thing.
Yeah, it was when we're going to do like awards and shit like that. So you guys will know for sure. Next Saturday, we will be recording this episode, but your hog isn't due until January 7th or 6th, whichever the Saturday is. So make sure you keep that in mind. Get your final hog in. I don't want anybody to lose because they didn't...
They didn't put in the final numbers.
Right, they didn't tally it up. You still got 2 weeks, but make sure it's all December stuff. If you fucking beat a game in January, you don't count it for December's hog. So remember. And fuck. Play Metroid Prime.
Yeah, play Metroid Prime. Leave us a review, guys. We haven't had any since fucking, November?
Yeah, and in 2 weeks, we're going to be giving away a copy.
Yeah,
A
we're
copy
gonna-
of the greatest film of all time.
Yeah, fucking Mortal Kombat, you guys.
Mortal Kombat. I'm even considering buying a double pack on Blu-ray because it's probably like $2, and
Dude.
I'll send you that.
My copy is has 4 movies on it. It's a Blu-ray. It's a Mortal Kombat 2, the Mortal Kombat fan thing that was made. Has like I think it was like a few short episodes that they put into like one movie.
Okay.
And then it's got Blade 2 for some reason. But I know it's
Blade
weird.
2.
Blade
Let's get the
2.
sequel in here. Okay.
Yeah. So all of that was like $7.
Okay, so we will send an awesome edition with a shitload of movies in Blade 2 to you guys.
If we can find another of that, we will definitely send that.
So get your reviews in. We only have like 3 or 4 that are eligible from this last period. So jump on that, and yeah, we hope to see you guys soon. Joe and I are going to be playing Parasite Eve. I believe he went up north yesterday or the day before to grab his PlayStation 3, so he's probably picking that up as we speak. And then after that, we have our hog game that is The Last Guardian. I can finish the trilogy and finish the game that was announced.
You can finally
forever
die
ago.
in peace.
Yes, I can. I can finally have done the Eco, Shadow, and Last Guardian.
Dude, I looked up the
games.
time for Last Guardian. It was like 11 hours.
Yeah, they're not long. These games.
No, I mean, that's like twice as long as the other games in the
Well,
series.
I
That's like Ico and Shadow combined.
maybe I took a longer time in Shadow. I think
I did
I don't
too,
know.
but I've seen people speed run that game in like an hour. So
Yeah, it's doable. It's another one of the. It's like Metroid. You just when you figure out where to go, you fucking go. You just jump back in and
It's
make it
fucking
your
sick.
bitch. Yeah, I need to play Shadow again. Honestly,
I think
kinda-
you need to play through it twice in order to get the plat, because you got to get all the lizards to get the maximum
grip bar.
stamina bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that. I think it's a good game. So maybe I'll revisit that in the time that I don't have between now and Last Guardian review, just to have all of them in a row, kind of a thing. So that'll be fun. Yeah, check. So be excited for that. I'm sure we're going to be streaming Last Guardian in stages. Each of us should probably pick up some.
Yeah, I will definitely be streaming it soon. I picked it up this week, actually.
Nice. I haven't bought it yet. I'm going to be getting like cash back rewards for Amazon for my card, so I'm probably going to do that in like another week. I think I'll have enough points, and I'll just outright buy it for the PlayStation 4. So
There is another week of the PlayStation sale, so I was kind of hoping it would be on sale, but then I was like,
yeah,
nah,
it's still pretty new. So yeah, check out the PlayStation sale, that Tom Clancy game we were talking about. We would love it if any of you guys jumped on.
yeah, it's like $20
Yeah, if
bucks
any of
right
you guys
now.
have Rainbow Six Siege, or if you don't, but you're interested in it, $20 right now, huge discount, and we'd be have a lot of fun because you do need a 5-man team.
Yeah, it would be a
We've upgraded
blast.
to 3, and we don't think Joel joined, so yeah, 2 of you, we need you.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. There's a great Steam sale going on. There's some good stuff. Unfortunately, Civ 6 is only like I think 10% off, so it's like $5.
Yeah, so it's 55 still.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's-
ooh.
Oh, hardly anything.
Yeah, and I paid so much for Civ 5 that
Maybe for Civ 6 we should wait, because they did release the fucking Ultimate Edition of Civ 5 for like $12.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was like $1 one day. There was a day
was
where,
it?
yeah, it was $1 for Civ 5 complete.
my
And I was like,
God.
oh, I paid like $60 for this game. No.
That is,
But,
oh God, dude.
I know. And Civ is a big deal around here. So,
Yeah.
let's see, we got that going on. Check out the Steam sales. Craft your cards if you care. Your badges. I know no one else cares.
Be
but
sure
me,
to
but
give it to Caleb because he
if
loves it.
if you don't care, just send them to me. I mean, what's the harm, right? No harm in that. No harm, no foul. So, yeah, check that stuff out. Make sure you're getting all the savings on all the games you want at this end of year time. And, yeah, check us out at nudeclan.net. That's where you can find all of our episodes. You can find our polls for the games that are coming up. Be sure to leave us a review on iTunes to be put in the choosing the selection pool for the Mortal Kombat movies and Blade 2 potentially. Make sure to follow us over at twitch.tv/nudeclangaming to see us streaming the games live in various stages. Be sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/nudeclanpodcast. That's nude spelled N-E-W-D. You can tweet me at UFF Podcast.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
And me at Obsidian Bar.
And Joe doesn't matter.
Yeah, so, fuck. Guess till next time, guys.
Enjoy the nude.
May the list go on.
Live always in the nude.